Well, it sounds like you guys are having optimal Iron Banana gameplay.
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very close to an Iron Lord because I have spent
You
some
are.
quality time.
I mean, I'm 5 hours away, but you are quite close to
Wait,
me.
I thought you were Iron Lord last time we had this discussion.
No,
that was me.
Yeah, he was the Iron Lord.
I know, I'm talking to him.
Nitedemon is the Iron Lord. I did not have the time to invest last week.
So why is he saying he's
Iron
5
Lord?
hours away from it? I'm confused.
No, he said he's quite close to an Iron Lord, and I said, well, I am quite close. I'm 5 hours away. Joke gone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Nitedemon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Rager, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
This is the first time I played Destiny all week. Work was a nightmare.
Normally is for
Absolute
you.
nightmare. No. I've been playing
We've
a lot
gone over
about
this before. We've gone over this
Ooh.
before. This is your time for you to play Destiny and talk to us.
Disagree.
Luna allows you this time to play. This is it.
Actually, Luna and both kids are at a birthday party. Hey, what's up, Golden God? But no. I normally play throughout the whole week, dude. That's why I've completed all my everything for this season. But like this
Don't make
week,
statements that you cannot back up.
it's people are watching me. My is done.
You haven't gotten any exotics from any of the new content. Don't say you've completed
So you've done everything. Have you gilded your what is it?
Dredgen?
I will.
Have you gilded your dredges this season?
I will never gild.
Have you gilded your Conqueror title this season?
I don't understand why you don't understand English.
Jedi title this season.
I will never gild.
Have you got yourself an Iron Lord title this season?
Definitely not.
Have you got? You've got a Reaper title, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's it. So you haven't finished all the challenges because let's face it,
Sure I have.
I
finished all the ones that matter to me.
Have you done a Grandmaster?
No, I need. Wait, yeah, I have.
You haven't done all the
Grandmaster. I did do a Grandmaster.
Don't come at me that you've done everything.
I did do a Grandmaster.
You've done what limited things in your brain have said that you can do. You have not done everything. So don't make statements.
I've done everything that matters. No. Except the two exotics.
except for
the things you really want.
The exotics. I've been trying. I've been doing all my weeklies, sir. I have made the effort to get the exotics. Bungie just gives me the big middle finger as far as getting them dropped. Okay.
So welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Respawn Bashing Week, where we take the time out of our daily lives to take the mickey out of Respawn for not actually completing everything in the game. I am Nitedemon. Peroty is joining me here, bashing Respawn, who is giving up the fight very quickly.
No, I won.
No, we're just supporting him in a different way than he's used to. That's all. The show is all about positivity.
Yes,
this is a very positive show. We're just supporting him differently. Like some people are differently abled, we just offer different levels of support.
This is the way you support an angry Titan. I mean Hunter. Sorry.
That's every week.
No, actually, no. Technically, you are Titan this season because you lost the bet. That was it.
And he is angry either way. I mean,
explain to people because they might not know why
the
Hunter out of the group is still playing as a Titan. If you're watching the live stream,
everybody that's watching the stream right now knows why I'm stuck on a Titan.
No, but new people to the show or people
they know what he's done. They know what he did.
Well, he knows what he did. He made 2 stupid bets back to back, and now he's paid the price.
The second one shouldn't have been stupid. The second one, we had a chance. They just let the Warlocks win. I was let down.
And funny enough, I was thinking to myself today, do I make another bet with him? Is he stupid enough to take up the bet so that it would be the 3rd season in a row that he plays the Titan?
Negative. I mean, I probably would take the bet depending on the bet, but I'd make sure it wasn't as one-sided as it's been thus far.
And I think, we've had our laugh. You know,
I think
we've laughed, we've cried, and the people have seen that you've got very upset about playing as a Titan for a couple of seasons. So I think it's time to let you go back to your Hunter, because you're at your best. You're radius best when you're on your Hunter, and you've been
I
looking
am.
forward to actually playing more of your Hunter, haven't you, for next
Mhm.
season? And then you'll have the full plethora of Void, Arc, and Solar to play with that you've
Mhm.
kind of missed out in the last couple of
And
seasons.
speaking of, you guys hardly play with me, but my Titan buddy I always play with, he took an opportunity to take stabs at me too. He goes, "You know what? This has been a good season." I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "Because when you play as a Titan, you're actually an asset to the team." I'm like, "You gotta." I was like, "Have you been talking to Nitedemon? Take it back."
Exactly. You, Micah, best buds.
I don't doubt it. But yeah, definitely want to get back on the Hunter, try out a bunch of stuff that I haven't had the adequate time to play.
Fair enough.
Boop. I'm just hoping there's still viable solar builds when Arc 2.0 or 3.0 comes out.
There absolutely are. I should say, if you have a class that can exist outside of needing the modifiers for the season, there will be plenty of viable builds. Yeah, the restoration I put on and honestly noticed like no difference. I mean, again, I'm playing a class that has all the restoration already with his big beefy arms, but I was like, I even put on the Warlock and I was like, well, wait, that just seems stupid to do it on the Warlock. The Warlock has built-in restoration.
Agreed. So like I've been looking up builds, right? And Titan, I got the build right now that I can just keep it on. It's got all the restoration without having to use restoration mod, right? So when Arc 2.0 comes out, this build that I'm currently rocking still very, very, very good, very viable, very deadly. Warlock, I've seen a bunch of builds where it's the same thing. It doesn't matter when Arc.
Stop. Can we just go back, rewind a couple of seconds?
Wait till Arc 3.0 comes out. You'll be really impressed with it.
Yeah, when Arc 3.0 comes out, you'll still have a build on your Titan that you're going to rock.
No, you didn't let me finish what I was saying. I was saying the Titan and the Warlocks have options to play Solar 3.0 whenever Arc 3.0 comes out, right? But as far as I've seen, I haven't seen a Hunter build that still has all the restoration options available that a Titan and a Warlock has once that classy restoration mod goes away.
Well, I mean, you don't deserve restoration. You're playing the wrong thing. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
You might be right. But who knows what Arc's coming? Oh God! Who knows what Arc is bringing forth? So I don't know.
Yeah, Arc. I'm really curious to see. Yeah, just what our verbs are. Like, what are we going to have to build this around? Which
hopefully you're gonna have a stun.
I'm
hoping you got a stun because electricity, stuns ideally, right? But aside from
I'm sure you can stun at the moment, can't you, with some of the grenades? And then there's chain lightning.
Chain lightning is another one. Yep.
The chaining I would love to see them build it to. I'm afraid it to be like the Warlocks get all the chain lightning, but I would love to have a little bit of chaining built in because that just is a lot of fun.
Maybe the chaining is going to be a bit like the ignition, where with the Warlocks, where they click their fingers, or with the incandescent perk, you get a shot on somebody and then it just chains to the other people if they're close enough. So maybe it's not too OP, but it's cool enough to use in like PvE activities.
Well, OP or not, he's got a point. Like, what are the verbs going to be?
Yeah.
Stun, paralysis, chain lightning. I mean,
yeah, and then like the chain lightning, like I don't think it's going to be like amazing. It's not going to be like Grandmaster level. You're going to kill everything with chain lightning. Just this will help. It's sort of like the the poison will give you a little bit of tick damage. I just want to chain a little bit, or that one Warlock grenade that chains to the people nearby, and it's like, yeah, just give me a little bit of chain lightning.
Or the Titan grenade. Your Titan electric grenade is so deadly, dude.
Please. I know it's a bit too late, Bungie, but please, can we have the D1 version of those lightning grenades?
No,
because all classes can then have access to them.
Everybody gets them.
Remember? So, but the D1 lightning grenades are fantastic. Please, can you just up them slightly to be like D1? I don't want to have to stand there, stand there, look at my watch and go, are you going to start, sparking out? Are you going to get somebody? No.
Yeah, I make that same call for every grenade. It's just I miss the D1 grenade where grenades were grenades and they actually killed things versus I'm going to stick this to your forehead and you're going to run around and shotgun me and then maybe you'll die later.
Look, don't even come at me with that. The freaking hunter, god damn it, proximity. I'm blanking out, man. The solo one where it sticks to walls and it's like a proximity mine. You get closer, it detonates. That's
The trip mine.
Trip mine, thank you. The trip mine I have stuck in people's foreheads. It has detonated and then done no damage to them.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. The grenades as a whole are weaker than they used to be. I miss when grenades were actually useful in PvP to get kills and not just like hold down areas, or maybe, you know, if the scatter grenade scatters and hits you enough times, or the skip grenade skips and hits you enough times, maybe you'll get a kill.
Yeah.
But we'll see, because we're only a little over a month away, 5 weeks or something from.
Then why are we already on the last Iron Banner if we still got a whole last month?
Because there's only 2 Iron Banners this season. Bungie said you only get to have 2. I don't know why. We don't like it. We don't support it. I'm assuming it's because they ran into, you know, some sort of time constraint with Mr. Saladin Brackus. I've got better things to do than run Iron Banner for you. I assume it's just, you know, he'd hit the end of his hours and they don't want to pay him overtime.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Zavala's over, you know, doing entire Resident Evil TV show, so he's got time. Come on, Saladin. What's wrong? What's going on?
But while we're talking about Iron Banner, let's give our PSA that we put out on Twitter. And thanks to Mr. Cheese Forever for kind of forwarding that to the larger audience of Destiny, just to remind people that the Iron Banner engrams will disappear. So these are the ones that are up on the top right-hand corner of your bar that you can collect from just leveling up. If you leave them there, like I have, I think I've got 47, they're sitting there at the moment, collect those before the end of the week because they will be completely removed. Now, and this is due to the fact that Bungie just refresh all vendors at the end of the season. So you'll get a complete vendor refresh, have to start from fresh. Same with trials, any other vendor that's around the tower, make sure you collect them. But the main thing that I think Bungie forgot to tell us is go and collect them from Saladin because he won't be back for the rest of the season. Normally we have like 2 or 3 Iron Banners, and this is the first time we've had this rework. So I think it's kind of just been overlooked, which is why we've kind of put it out there as much as we can. And I've posted it in Discords just to make sure that people are aware. I did get a fun reply on one of the Discords saying, so what happens if I don't play Iron Banner? I said, well, it still matters because you have to still go and collect it. So, but
then you have nothing to collect, I assume.
No, they have to go and play Iron Banner. I think I talked them into playing Iron Banner just so they had to go and collect them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Iron Banner in the past, it's been a harder thing, I feel like, to talk people into. This season, now again, by the time you're hearing this, you basically lost your opportunity, or maybe you have a day until Tuesday reset to go play. But all of the bounties, instead of, you know, go getting 15 kills with scout rifles and do this with your auto rifle and grab your hand cannon, it's just play matches.
There is a little caveat to that, which I did realize after playing several matches.
It's play matches. Yes. Right. It's play matches with the subclass you've been on all season.
Well,
it's been play matches with Solar Avoid, I think it is.
Yes, it is. So don't trust. So, yeah. Don't swap to Arc. Don't swap to Stasis unless you finish that like engram for that day.
Unless you're done, and then you can play whatever you want. But yeah, it's just. But that's all you need to do. Put on the appropriate subclass and just complete matches. Win, lose, draw. It does not matter what you run with. It doesn't matter what you do. As long as you're on the right subclass, you are getting credit and you are getting pinnacles to drop. You are getting 4 pinnacles to drop through that week. And, you know, as always, if you wait till the end of the week, because, you know, basically, you know, each of the 4 days you get one set of those bounties.
It's a challenge on the director, isn't it? On the director for the Iron Banner mode, it'll tell you how many matches you need to play to get the next pinnacle reward. Up to, I think, because if you, like I said last week, if you wait until now, Saturday, you've got all 4 you can do on each character. So if you play 18 games on one character, you have a chance to get all 4 of those pinnacles.
Yep. And then it's 4 pinnacles. You have these lovely pinnacles just dropping for you just for completing matches.
And they are powerful pinnacles. So if you are at 1560, they do drop, I think it's +2 or 3 light higher than what your current light is. So
yeah, that's what I've been seeing.
In the 1565, they should be dropping at 57 or 58, depending on where you are kind of in that split. So they are quite powerful ones, whereas just doing the normal 3 crucible ones is only a +1 in your power. So either it matters to you or either it doesn't. But there is a challenge to hit the pinnacle power for this season, which is 1570. Yeah, so you can make the games go faster, as I told these guys earlier. You can grab the spark, you can walk it to your own rift and wait for the enemy team to come to you, kill you, and just dunk it right there. So there are ways of making it go faster so that you don't have to spend much time in there. You could just be
Yeah.
helping out the enemy team. And let's just put praise for Bungie. They've adjusted the mode from the last time it was here about a month ago. If you're getting dominated by like a really sweaty team, whether you're in solo playlist or you're in the normal Iron Banner list, then if they get to 3 dunks on you, that's it. 3-0, that's it. Over and done with. Your mercied. You're out of there. So if you have a good team you're facing and it's backward and forth, it's really good. Although I did hear somebody say, "Oh, if you go up like 3-1, the game still ends." But I played a couple of games where the other
Yeah.
team, we were 3 up and they got 1, and then they were fighting for their second, or we were fighting for our fourth, and it still carried on because it was still quite a competitive match. It was quite cool. So sometimes you
that's
get
what I've
mercy,
noticed
and
too.
sometimes you don't. It depends on how hard you're fighting each other, really.
Yeah, like the mercy has to be total incomplete because like a couple of times, like one team will get 1 and then the other team will get 3 in a row, and it's not going to mercy you.
Yeah.
It seems like it has to be like a 3-0. Like if there's a 1 on either side of the board, you're going to play the whole match out.
Or you wait until the other team gets the 4th.
Mhm.
And then Saladin goes, you know what, I think maybe I should have called
Yeah.
this earlier. But yeah, I mean, the changes have been good. I haven't seen anybody complaining about the glitches and
Mm-mm.
repeated spawns, although I did catch one the other day. I think we got the dunk or the other team got the dunk. So it was only 1 spark. It was the first spark. And then the screen went black and we sat there and we sat there and we sat there. And I went into my menu, had a look at my character. I was like, this is entertaining. Came back, it put us all back at the start, and then it just went game over. It's like, okay, so we won then. That was quick. And we're out.
Did they give you any credit for that, or is it
Oh,
just?
yeah, it gave us credit for it, but it was just really weird that it did that. So maybe the game, that's the way of the game coping. If it feels that it's going down that route of I'm going to start glitching out, maybe it kind of adjusts behind the scenes and just goes, well, whoever got the dunk, that's it. And I actually got a game that went to a tie this week. The first time ever that I actually got a tie. So I think we'd all got like 2 or 3 dunks. No, we got 2 or 3 dunks on each team, and then the 3 sparks were across the map. We all ran to the sparks and things, and nobody could dunk it in the time frame, and that was it. They just all exploded, and it just went to a draw. So it was the first time I've had a draw, on Banner. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've had I think 3 overtimes this year. I think I saw it once last time. I've had 3 or 4 this time. 2 our team has won, 1 our team did not because I don't think they understood what they were doing. But yeah, the multi-ball is way too much fun. There should be more multi-ball Rift. It's way too much fun.
Multi-ball?
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah. When you end in a tie, the game will reset you and then give you a map with 3 sparks on it.
Huh!
And then whichever team grabs the first one and dunks it takes that win.
Nice.
Maybe Bungie should change it up even more and have every person respawns with a spark to start off with, and see who can get to the other side of the map quicker. And you'll see kind of warlocks and titans flying past each other going, oh God, they've got a spark, I've got a spark. Are we going to get to the other person's spark quicker than the other? That would be it, because then I think you're more likely guaranteed to get a winner out of that.
Yeah, but I think whoever's got the warlock on the team is going to win that one, because right now warlocks cross map like nobody's business.
I played on my warlock. I was blinking all over the place, 100% mobility, the astrocyte first. I saw a titan literally fly that map. He was shoulder charging across the map, going a lot faster than I was. I was thinking, maybe I should go back onto my titan for a little bit.
Yeah.
Was he sword skating? I've seen them do that a lot.
No, there's a couple of methods. I don't remember what they are. I remember seeing videos being like, here's how you can move really fast as a titan. There's a couple of skating methods and stuff out there where you can absolutely truck. And there's some mechanic where you can bounce into each other and propel each other forward. So that's happened to me a couple of times.
There was somebody posted on Twitter there was a hunter with the spark, and he was on the same team as this Titan. And he jumped up, and the Titan jumped up behind him, shoulder charged him in the back, and he went flying, literally flying across the map to the spark, just through that gap in disjunction. Near the where
that's beautiful.
and he literally just flew to the spark. He just went so fast past the opposite team. Looked fantastic.
Oh
So
no,
there are methods of kind of getting your team across there.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that, but I've definitely been like when you're all running when the game first starts and you're all running on the disjunction particularly, and all of a sudden, somebody will do something behind me because I'll be going, Phew! And I'm just rocketed ahead. It's like, okay, somebody knows the way to boost people, or just dumb luck. Shoulder charges into someone just right.
And speaking of disjunction, this is the map that's kind of come in Destiny 2 that's like Throne World-esque. And I saw a video by Scarrow9, which I will put in the show notes, which is really interesting. Basically, the disjunction map that they've used is the same map from Destiny 1, the D1 Frontier. Do you remember this one, guys? This was the one that's got the bridge in the middle.
Not by name, no.
It's got that bridge in the middle, and it's got the two warehouses on either side, like the train track in the middle, and you could fight where the carriages are. You could go underneath the bridge. There's kind of got water running through it. Do you not remember this one?
It sounds familiar, but I'm definitely
It sounds like
because I need
map with
once I see a
on it.
picture, I will recognize it.
You'll see it anyway. So Scarrow does this video of literally frame by frame, shot by shot of this is the bridge. This is the bridge in Disjunction where we're kind of fighting across that middle bit. It's exactly the same layout because the bridge curves in Disjunction, which I didn't realize until he pointed it out, and the bridge also curves in the Frontier as well.
Yes.
He points out to where the boxes are in Frontier to where they've kind of just remodeled, kind of put Throne World stuff over the top, and where the heavy is over on that kind of grassy knoll on Disjunction, and there's a kind of pillar there where the heavy is. There's a pillar also very similar in Frontier on Destiny 1 as well. So they've kind of repurposed that map, but just made it look Throne Worldy. It's really cool. I didn't pay much attention when Disjunction came along, but obviously, it's a good idea. Maybe they should put Frontier in the game as well. If they've got it in the system, stick it in there as well. It's obviously plays very much like Disjunction.
Yeah, it's basically there. Just update the textures a second time, and you're all set.
But how did you?
Wild.
I was going to say, Respawn hasn't really played, but how do you feel still playing on the same 3 maps that we have from a couple of months?
Wait. There's a third map. Because I swear I have only seen Disjunction and Bannerfall this week. Like I could not tell you what the third map is because I swear to you, I have not seen the third map at all this week.
Oh come on, you must have seen the other map.
Two. I'm not sure I have. I will pull up. I will find the post game Carnage reports for Bungie and look. But I don't think I have. I really don't think I have. I think it's only been these two over and over again.
So you've got Convergence, which is the one with the Moss and Vex kind of theme with the big square box in the middle where the B flag is.
Sure, no? you can tell me it's there. I mean, I definitely saw it last Iron Banner for sure. This week, I don't think I have. I think it's only been Disjunction and Bannerfall, and that's it.
These are all words that you're saying. Yep. I totally get that.
Yeah, Disjunction, Bannerfall, and Convergence are the 3 maps. But
I can remember where to go.
I wish they'd have thrown in another one, but maybe it's just because where they're trying to find the data and they don't want to kind of skew from it too much. Maybe the next Iron Banner will get more maps. Maybe, hopefully, cross your fingers, we get another.
Right. Okay, yeah. Okay, and there have been a couple convergences. You're right. I was totally I have seen that a handful of times, but it is literally like I'll have 10. I'm looking like there's like 10 Bannerfalls and Disjunctions in a row, and then they'll throw in a Convergence every now and again. So I've seen it, but it's been very rare.
Super rare. Yeah, I can't understand how y'all are doing this. So T-Rex King earlier, he's all like, my game has devolved into Warpig with Sweet Business. I was like, ooh, don't let Peroty hear you say that. That's peak gameplay to him.
I mean, I've seen a couple people. I mean, again, if you're running with a group, it can be very strong. I've not tried it just because I've been running except for I met with Nitedemon last night. We ran a little bit, but I've just been doing this solo because I've been on it weird random times for short little bits.
Yeah.
But I've seen a couple of people with Sweet Business again running with sort of like support characters. You can absolutely clear the way with that Sweet Business if you have people to back you up. If it's just you and a Sweet Business, good luck.
I think at the beginning of the week, I just for a laugh, I put the Sweet Business, the Acting War rig on my Titan, and I think it was just because there was a bounty increasable that said I had to get auto rifle kills. So I thought, what's the most fun that I can have with an auto rifle? The Sweet Business. And I think I was using it in Iron Banner, and I got teabagged by a hunter who just kind of sorted me out every single time. And I mean, he was using something like the Last Word and Lord of Wolves and things like that. I'm thinking, you must be able to see I'm not actually trying to play the game. I don't understand why I'm getting teabagged. I'm doing it for fun. It's my funsies.
Maybe it was a fan. You ever stop to think maybe it's somebody who listens to the show and they can't otherwise communicate with you?
No, it doesn't matter. There's always those super toxic people who are like, I'm gonna teabag you. Like, dude, I'm not trying. I'm glad you think you're good, but nobody cares.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going super sweaty, I wouldn't be putting on a Sweet Business. It's
Right.
not my sweaty loadout. It's I'm going to do a stupid thing and just walk around the corner and hold this button down. That's it. If you happen to be the person there, then
Yeah,
you shouldn't have been there. You made a bad life choice, man.
That's fine. That's how it happens.
If you continue to peak, that's not his fault. The only sweaty part about the Sweet Business is going and getting Sweeperbot to sweep up all of those shell casings after you're through. Doing so great, and you've got the spark, and then your team is like, we could pick up the spark and our dead comrades, or we could just take the spark and run into the oncoming gunfire.
Ooh, I bet I know which one they did. I bet I know.
I bet you do too.
It's the oncoming gunfire, isn't it?
The obvious choice. Run headlong into the machine gun fire. I mean, that's what you would do.
Of course.
Why not? What are you asking of these people to actually pay attention to the mode or not?
Yeah, I know. It's a lot to ask. I have many asks of them. I mean, one of them is just pay attention to the fact that you're actually playing a game with an objective at all. Like at all. I played the game, I swear to God, it was just like it was the team just treating it as just deathmatch. Like no one on either team made any effort to actually collect the spark. The one or two people per team who actually did pick it up, it's like they picked it up, made minimal headway with it, and then it just sat there for a while until somebody else bothered to touch it.
Now what?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people take off the wrong way on that new disjunction map because it's especially like they were underneath, like running through the sewers, and they were like, "I'm out." Oh wait, that's not the way I need to go at all. That number's getting further away from that nice red icon on the map where I'm supposed to take this. Whoops.
So many wither hordes. My boy over here in the chat's like, so many wither hordes. So many wither hordes. So many wither hordes.
Every wither horde, sir. Every wither horde. The wither horde is having its day in the sun.
Yeah.
I mean, since half the meta is, cower behind a wall in flames, the wither horde's a good counter to that. I'm going to sit here. No, you're not. Between that and the, warlock big bubble grenades that just spit fire periodically, you can hold down a spark or an area with one of those, and it's like, I'm going to pick this up. No, you're not. Or if you do, you're not making it very far once you have it.
Right. This is my safe space. Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's the beauty of those in the wither horde both is you can't get revives while you take that wither horde tick damage.
No, so you can't revive anybody. Yeah, you can't revive anybody.
Yeah, you can throw a wither horde down. Yeah, throw a wither horde down. Be like, I'm not here, but the wither horde's here, and you're not getting any of your friends. You have to sit there and think about what you've done while that wither horde times out. Which is also funny for people to watch. They're like, can I sit here with the spark long enough to not get killed and res my friends before someone shows up?
That's a -10 for good buddy.
But the Iron Banner Rift is a completely different animal than the other game modes. If you're going in there to just get kills, then yeah, I mean it's just like
then shame on you.
sweaty
sure.
game modes, but it doesn't count. It doesn't count towards anything unless your team is actually getting the win. It's I think we said this before, didn't we? That you have to have a kind of different mindset and a different kind of. It has to be team gameplay. You just have to work as a team. There have to be revives. There have to be positions, and you have to work as a
A
team to
wave
get
launcher
that.
is good, I think, in PvP. No, granted, I'm not the PvP guy, but you guys, right? The wave launchers
You're
are pretty
talking to
good,
chat
right?
again.
Yeah, but I'm bringing it up to you guys. Like the wave
Uh,
launchers, I would assume are good in PvP as an overall.
The only grenade launcher I've
Right.
seen in PvP is the Wither Horde and one dude with a fighting lion.
One dude, singular fighting line.
Yeah, one. I mean, or I should say, I've gotten killed by the fighting lion one time with one guy in one game. I'm sure there are more out there, but I'm
So
sorry
you haven't
if you're
seen
not
the
really.
mountaintops recluse this one.
I've seen a couple of recluses, but no mountaintops. Again, I'm sure they're out there. I'm also strictly sticking to Team Iron Banner. I was going to ask, have you done any of the solo Iron Banner? I've been sticking to the Team Iron Banner because I figure, one, I can give me the chance to put me in with people working together. I'll happily go join that 2-stack or 3-stack working together, going, okay, we're going this way. I'll go with you. This seems fun. Versus solo Iron Banner is just absolute chaos. There's you're basically at the mercy of who is the single best person in that lobby and are they going to play the objective.
So even if you go in by yourself, you still go into the team mode. You're not afraid of getting
No.
6-stacked.
No, not at all. I've been 6-stacked once this week, and we got mercy very quickly. So who cares? The only time I mind getting 6-stacked is when teams treat it like not Rift and just farm you for kills and don't actually try to end the game, so it goes the full 10 minutes while they just farm you for kills. For what reason? I guess it boosts their KD, because again, the game's not showing you any stats. You're not getting anything in the game to say, oh, you got a 20 kill streak, good for you. You still won the game, or maybe you lost it. One team, I swear, nearly lost the game because they just weren't playing the objective, just farming us for kills, and we were almost able to score.
There's no title to guild with this game mode, is there?
Iron Lord next time.
Next season,
just by farming kills.
No, I don't think there'll be. I think it'll be like making sure that you dunk the Rift, protect the Rift runner. Again, it'll be things like that.
Yeah,
do
like
stuff.
playing the objective.
The objectives, yeah, which is what it pretty much was this time. Play the game mode, play the objectives, do what it says on the tin, and you'll get to be an Iron Lord. Just reset your rank twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just play a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, I played a lot in the solo playlist, which was good fun, just playing by myself. And then this week I decided I was going to start up a stream because I wanted to interact with some of our listeners.
So what are you streaming on? Just because I'm curious.
What do you mean? What was I streaming on?
His Xbox.
Like, are you streaming on OBS? Are you streaming on
Xbox?
Xbox. I streamed Xbox to Twitch, and I also then mirrored that over to YouTube. So I had 2 chats open, talking to 2 different sets of viewers, which was quite good fun. I did a test stream on, I think it was Wednesday, where I was kind of just testing it out and seeing how it would run. And then Thursday, I did a full-length stream, 5.5 hours, and we got quite a lot of viewers, and I interacted with everyone there, and I was having a really good time chatting to everybody. And then I linked up with a couple of players from Twitch and the YouTubes that were watching. They came and joined me in Iron Banner. We had really good fun playing in the main Iron Banner playlist. Problem was, I mean, I think we only got like about 2 or 3 wins, and Drum Raider was somebody that was chatting on YouTube, and he's like, can I come and join? And he came and joined us, and we lost like about 4 or 5 games in a row. And I was like, I am not leaving this until we get you the win. We need to get you at least one win, or before 20 minutes is up, because
I didn't hear of it either, dude. So you're not alone. Yeah, how did did you broadcast this to anybody that you were doing this? Because T-Rex is upset he didn't know that this was going on.
Yeah, I streamed to our 2 Titans and a Hunter Twitch stream, and also over on YouTube on 2 Titans and a Hunter.
I didn't even know we had a 2 Titans and a Hunter Twitch stream. What the hell? When was all this set up?
This was set up ages ago.
Know about it. This was set up before yours was set up, or about the same time.
The 2 Titans and a Hunter?
Yeah, we've never used it, but it's there. It exists.
Clearly.
We make lots of things. We don't use many of them, but we make many things.
Yeah,
I guess we do.
I mean, it was kind of half of like, I want to kind of interact a bit more with our community and play the game at the same time and share my terrible gameplay. And I must apologize to Ken's Ghost. He must find it really infuriating because he was sending me messages saying, "Have you tried lowering your settings on this? Because I can see that you're terrible, basically." I was like, "No, Ken, I'm really sorry. I forgot to do my settings." And I did adjust it afterwards. And he was telling me all these different loadouts to use, and I was throwing caution to the wind and just kind of going with blind, like Titans flying in.
Leroy.
Yeah.
I
mean, I did put on the Peacekeepers, and I think it was like the Terror and the Huckleberry. He was telling me about using that. I mean, it's not, the problem is it's not a gameplay that I'm used to, so it was kind of really hard to suddenly to adjust that and play. I like to spend a lot of time like faffing about with my build and making sure that everything kind of synergizes rather than kind of trying to mix it up on the fly as I'm flying to the next Iron Banner match. It was a bit hard. So yeah, I will hopefully stream again on Wednesday, and then probably Tuesday I'll probably do a stream, a full stream again. Maybe not 5.5 hours like this week, but the length of that maybe. I will put it up on socials if and when I'm going to go live, so other people can join us.
So where would people go would they go to twitch.tv/Two Titans and a Hunter, all spelled out, no numbers?
They would. And it's the same on YouTube with our YouTube channel. So if you go and subscribe over there and click that notification button, apparently it will tell you. But yeah, thank you very much for all the feedback that everybody gave, and it is much appreciated, and we will keep doing what we're doing.
Well, I am now an Iron Lord, so my work here is done.
Congrats, Peroty, on the Iron Lord. Somebody's calling out to you.
Thank you. My work here is done. I've now taken the Warlock on the Titan through the Iron Banner, and now I'm done with Iron Banner because
no, don't. There are many more banners to come and many more games to be had.
No, correct. Done with Iron Banner for now, since I've done literally nothing. I've done literally nothing this week except for play Iron Banner, like literally nothing. So now I'm going to go do some other pinnacles and things.
Well, if you've literally finished doing that, would you like to tell the kind people what D2_NWID_07132022 means?
I would, and because I saw this, our next week in Destiny had this secret code on it, and I'm going, I think I had the same thought many of us did. Is this some sort of fun game you're playing with us, or is this just a weird bug? And so I went to Reddit this morning in my half awake state to go, what are people talking about this? And yeah, it's mostly likely D2, Destiny 2, NWID, next week in Destiny, and then the date 7/13/2022. So probably not a fun puzzle, probably just a weird little bug that a variable in the system that didn't get updated. So that's what we have. And what it actually tells us now we did actually get Team Scorch this week. That was accurate. So I think we're back to maybe accurate information in this little bit of a
make bold statements you cannot back up.
I said I think. I'm making wishy-washy statements at the very best. So we're pretty confident. Solstice begins. Celebrate with Eva.
Yeah. You off half the chat just now. Wait, what? It's character based?
PSA. The Iron Banner bounties for Pinnacles are character based. So if you finished one character, go play your 18 games with another character for another 4 set of Pinnacle drops.
Yeah.
And remember, light level does not matter. So you can absolutely bring that hunter in that's like 50 light levels below, because it does not matter.
I'm just getting a chat full of expletives.
By the way, everyone, if we'll say that again, if you would like 4, count them 4, I think plus 2 pinnacles, 4 of the good pinnacles, the finest pinnacles, the aged pinnacles. Go play Iron Banner. Again, just play the game. At this point in the week, just play 18 matches. That's all you have to do. Just vaguely participate. Honestly, grab your red bar weapons, your red frame weapons. Even if you never fire it, just equip it. If you've got that heavy you've been trying to level up, just equip it. That's all you have to do. You never have to use the thing. It'll still slowly upgrade as you're playing. So yeah, Iron Banner Pinnacles are character based. character.
I'm crying right now. Shut up. Stop it.
Also, so once you've finished your Iron Banner and picked up your Iron Banner engrams, because again, this is the last Iron Banner of the season. There isn't another one. If Nitedemon leaves his 40 engrams sitting there, they're lost for the sands of time. Now you can pick them up on that often not used character and just hold them on that character for next season, and then try to turn them in, when the next Iron Banner comes around. So you can absolutely fill up a character with Iron Banner engrams if you're not going to touch them again this season, or if they don't get played much, and just let them sit there. You can absolutely hoard them.
Oh, there's another way of hoarding the Iron Banner engrams. Shall I tell you? It's a really cool way.
You should, because if you've got 40, you're probably not going to turn all those in. Maybe you want to keep a couple.
Well, I'll probably do, yeah. But there is another way of, if you fill up your character, now this is each character, with engrams, so this can be the Umbral engrams.
Each character.
Umbral engrams, other engrams that kind of drop for you that you can decode like pinnacles. So if you fill up your character, you've got 10 on each character, whatever. When you play Iron Banner, at the end of the Iron Banner matches, if you are lucky enough, you will get an Iron Banner drop. So that will be weapons or armor. Now, if you have no space on you for those things to decrypt automatically, they go to your postmaster as iron engrams. So what you could do is do what I've done on my Warlock, is store about 10 of them. I think there's about 10 of them on there in my postmaster for next season, so that when next season rolls around, if they do a new weapon set or new armor set, you have a high chance at them decrypting into whatever the newest thing is. So you can literally do that from the first day. But I think people have found that when the new season rolls around, because they kind of update Iron Banner all in one go at the same time, you could do it on the first day of the new season, and it will give you something new and shiny from whatever's going to be coming in the following couple of weeks of Iron Banner. That is that possibility, or it may just give you something you've already got. Depends on whether they're updating Iron Banner next season for new weapons and armor. But it's a thing you can do if you want to.
So you're telling me on day one of the new season, I can take my hoarded Iron Banner engrams and just decrypt them. I don't have to turn them into Saladin. I can just decrypt them, and then I'll have new Iron Banner things if there are, or more Iron Banner things if it's just it'll be the same loot pool.
Yes.
Well, there we go. So that's something you can do with the I think I'm sitting at like 25 or 30 of those engrams, and I'm going, what am I going to do with all these? Because other than roll for high stat armor, that's about my only plan.
Right.
Yeah, and if you're going to do that, don't forget to put on your Ghost with the different armor sets on there. Different perks that you can put on that Ghost to say that you want a high stat in resilience, recovery, intellect, discipline, or strength to actually kind of get your roll. And I think there was a video, wasn't there, a couple of weeks ago that broke it down that if you put if you have a Ghost with the different mod on for, was it resilience? It's resilience, recovery, and something else was in one tier of stats, and then the other tiers were in something else.
Yeah, mobility, resilience, and recovery are in one category, and then discipline, intellect, and strength are in the second.
That was it. So it was put. I can't remember who did the video. I think it might have been somebody like a Bontis.
A lot of people did it.
Yeah. Make sure that you're kind of putting this on the Ghost, and then you get a high chance to get a kind of double high stat in 2 different areas.
Yeah, and
I found it only
you're
works.
looking for.
I mean, it kind of, and I say kind of works with world drops, but where it really shines is when you go focus the armor. That's when you see the big spikes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm focused at the crown and things like that. But it should, in theory, work the same way with Iron Banner, because you're focusing it into your legs. And if you've got those things on the Ghost, it should say, I will give you a high stat in whatever it is on the Ghost, but then also distribute them out on the other ones quite fairly as well.
I mean, I don't know about that, but yeah, I mean, it sounds good. Sounds reasonable.
It's always worth trying, just especially if you're new, you give you something to do and see what you can get.
Agreed.
Yeah. So now after the Iron Banner ends, again on Tuesday, Iron Banner's done. Last for the season. We're done with Iron Banner for the season. Our Solstice is going to begin. Eva will be here. Now, theoretically, we're going to enjoy bonus Vanguard ranks all week long in the Warden of Nothing Nightfall. So it should be ranks, not double weapon drops, not anything else. So if you've been absolutely neglecting your Vanguard this season like I have, double ranks are coming next season.
Next week.
And the Warden of Nothing will be our Nightfall of the week, as well as the Grandmasters that exist.
But
Now, if
normally
you're
when it's bonus Vanguard, that means across all kind of strikes. So in the strike playlist as well.
So yeah. So if
say
you've been
normally,
waiting to get
but
your
yeah.
chain of command stuff done or your ornament, do it next week. Or if you're still itching for some PvP, Mayhem and Zone Control come to the Crucible. So if you want to control the zones and play the objective, or if you just want to shoot all of the supers. And again, just like Team Scorch, this is a perfect time to unlock red bar weapons, upgrade weapons, throw those things in there. They, you're going to get credit for using them and just playing with them in Mayhem, even though you're not firing a single shot. And if you're feeling a little raidy and dungeony, Last Wish and Shattered Throne will be your pinnacles for next week.
Ooh. You know what that says to me? That says to me, this is going to be the week, Nitedemon, that you can solo that Shattered Throne.
Maybe. I mean,
That's what it says. Whether I pay any
all of the
attention
resilience,
to that,
this is
thing.
true. I mean, I feel like this is the season if you're gonna do it.
Yeah,
again,
with Glassy
not knowing
Restoration, Laurely Splendor.
I would have said the Void season. Oh, never mind. I play Hunter. Never mind.
Yeah. I mean, again, not knowing what arc's going to give us, but I feel like this is the season of healing.
Yeah.
They said it was a season of Haunted. It was actually the season of just healing because I mean, this feels like the time.
If
there was ever a time,
he may not be able to get past all my healing. I may be able to just out heal him.
I think you can. I believe in you.
Good. And the other thing to note with the pinnacles is the Last Wish raid. Now, this is the one where you can get 1,000 voices. So hopefully, I think we clarified this last week, you can farm for the exotics. So if you...
That's what it says.
Yep. If you can, you've got a good chance to get the 1,000 voice. And also, this is also a really good week to go and see if you can get the Transfiguration Scout Rifle from the Last Wish raid. Now, this is 150 RPM Scout Rifle, which is going to be fantastic when... because again, we still don't know when they're going to do the update to the sandbox. So this was, I think there was scout rifles, there was hand cannons, shotgun changes, and a couple of exotic changes in there as well. Again, they haven't said it's coming next week with Solstice, so possible that it comes the week after Solstice before we start the new season. But the Transfiguration Scout Rifle, this is one of the only scout rifles that can roll with Kill Clip and Rampage on it. So in the last column, you get a chance at getting Kill Clip. Second to last column, you can get Rampage. And you can put a Rampage spec on there. And apparently this can kind of, once it's kind of got one kill, it can 2-tap or 1-tap potentially, depends on how much Rampage stacks you get on there in the Crucible. It's going to be a fantastic one to look out for. I've got one that's got hardly any stability, but it's got quite a bit of range. But I've got one and I'm quite happy. I'm going to try it out when we do get the changes. But next week could be a good week for you to go and farm the Last Wish, see if you can get Transfiguration.
Mm-hmm. It's a very beautiful, aesthetically looking scout rifle too. It's got a great scope on it. You can also get things like explosive payload on there. So those of you that like that,
Kill Clip Rampage. You don't want explosive. Kill Clip Rampage PvP.
No, you do want it because like PvP, that explosive payload flinches the hell out of people.
Flinch is a lie. I don't believe flinch works. I believe it is a stat in the game, but the number of times I'm putting bullets into people's faces and they're still able to hand cannon 2-tap me, I don't believe flinch works.
That's because they've now got 100% resilience.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that works. And funny enough, I was looking back on Solstice to see if we can give any information about the upcoming Solstice that would relate to this one that's coming up, because every time they do a Solstice event, they do kind of slightly change it. And what was quite weird was last time we had Solstice, it was week 9 of challenges. And guess what it is this week? Week 9 of our challenges coming up.
No.
It is. So
I refuse to believe it.
Amazing.
No, but the similarities.
Got a longer term plan,
right? The similarities, I can tell you right now. Just like Iron Banner, pay attention, guys. Just like Iron Banner, it is character based. So if you unlock your full armor set on one character, you got to go and do it on another character.
Solstice?
Huh?
You're talking about Solstice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you
I
talking
was
about?
talking about challenges.
Oh, I'm talking about Solstice.
But challenges during Solstice. It's all the
Yeah.
same.
So
All
our
that.
first week of challenges during Solstice, and we'll only have 2 of them because we're week 9, and then the following week will be week 10, and that's it. And you will have many chances to get some bright dust to buy some lovely stuff from the Eververse store. So there are, let me just quickly check, 72 challenges that you need to have completed this season to get out of 75, which will give you that large pile of bright dust. And to achieve that, next week's challenges are Warm Resolve. You have to complete the Sever Resolve mission using only solar. And that means solar, kinetic, or stasis weapons. So you can
So,
pick up Scythe in that mission.
no, I had a question for you guys because I thought once we had it on the thing, we could go back and do it at any time. I went back and I did
you
one of the
can.
missions on my Titan twice with the Void build that it said I had to use, and it still has not given me credit on using.
Are you going to tell him, or am I going to tell him?
What?
Did you pick up the scythe?
No,
Did you use a non-stasis or kinetic weapon?
no. I followed it out exactly what it was because I had just finished doing that same challenge on the Arc subclass. So all I did was swap to my Void because the weapon types are the same. You know, you
Did
have
you
to
do
use
the appropriate sever mission? Because they're all different sever
Yes.
missions for different things.
Yes. Contrary to popular belief, I do know how to read. But I did it twice and it didn't give me the void. So I'm like, okay, do I have to wait for like the quotes void week? Because I assumed you
There's
could
no
do it
void
anytime as
week.
long as it was there.
No. You just have to follow the instructions on the tin.
Follow.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I'm out of suggestions because those are all the things I would have screwed up. So, like I said, I ran it the other day with the the explodey barrel, and that blew somebody up, and I was afraid that was going to disqualify me, and that didn't. Or if you melee people with the wrench, I guess that's a kinetic weapon. It's a kinetic wrench, so that worked fine too.
But yeah, next week you can
don't know.
pick up the scythe. So Warm Resolve, that will give you opulent energy and challenge XP plus. Cabal Tactics on the Derelict Leviathan, defeat combatants with rocket launcher final blows and rapidly defeat combatants in groups of 3 or more. They would like 125 rocket kills and 125 rapid defeats, and that will give you challenge XP plus plus. Armory wide calibration, calibrate kinetic energy and power weapons and bonus progress against champions. They would like 200 of all of those. So 200 power weapon kills, 200 energy weapon kills, and 200 kinetic kills.
And do we think either of those are going to be retroactive, or are these going to have to be fresh?
No, they won't be retroactive.
Table new kills.
No, they won't be retroactive. But here's one to make you.
It's not that many, but
here's another Gambit one for you for Gambiteers. Solar Gambit. Defeat targets with solar effects and bonus progress for defeating guardians. 200 of those, please.
Well,
that will give you challenge XP plus plus and some bright dust. And I'm not sure if I told you what the last one was, the armory wide calibration.
Is that 200 guardian kills?
No, it's 200
Gambit
solar defeats.
just Gambit kills.
You get extra progress for guardian kills.
Oh,
for the armory wide calibration, that was challenge XP plus 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 and some bright dust. And next weekend we will have Trials of Osiris back, so there is a Trials one for you. Trial by firing squad. Win multiple rounds in Trials of Osiris. And that's not back-to-back wins. That's just hope and pray that you get somebody that can win that, that game. Or sorry, win that round for you. And that will give you a Trials of Osiris weapon, challenge XP plus plus plus, and some bright dust. And they would like 20 of those, please. Yes, please. Thank you very much, sir. And then
so
finally,
that's the weekend I play Trials because there might be a community around it.
Yeah,
maybe.
And then finally, we have Solar Vanguard. Defeat combatants with solar effects in Vanguard playlist. And there would be 300 of those. Yes, please. Thank you very much, sir. Challenge XP plus plus and some bright dust.
Well, at least you give me the double Vanguard rings while I do that. So acceptable.
But in thinking about that, we'll go back and tell people about what we normally tell people is that normally what happens is you'll have Crucible, you'll have a Vanguard, and you'll have a Gambit double XP. So at the moment, because Iron Banner's here, you've got double XP on all Crucible modes. Next week, it should be double XP on all Vanguard modes, including Nightfalls and Grandmasters. Following the logic, it should be the week after. It'll either be a Trials XP double or a Gambit double XP. I'm weighing that it'll probably be. Should we go that it's going to be a Trials one? and then it'll be Gambit for the last week of Solstice. Or no, the third week of Solstice, sorry. What do you reckon?
I think it's gonna be Gambit. I don't think they're gonna do a trials quite yet. I know it seems like quite yet the season's almost over, but I don't know. I don't see them doing the trials one because I think that would just get wrapped into the more normal PvP one.
But never fear, we will tell you next week what it will be for the following week.
Well, we'll tell you next week what Bungie says it'll be for the following week. Whether it'll actually be that. Now, there are certain constants in your life that you've just come to expect and rely on, and now all of those have been thrown by the wayside. There's no way to know what's real anymore. Nope. So we'll see. Bungie will tell us things. We will tell you those things. Will those things match reality come Tuesday? Tune in and find out.
So as we are in the first week of Solstice next week, there is a hidden Eververse calendar. So I can't tell you all the stuff that's coming next week because there's a lot of red boxes that are completely blanked out. And again, the same with stuff in the API. I can't really tell you much about what's available, like in the API wise, about how the event's going to work. We can tell you what they've told us in the TWAB and give you a rough idea of what's happening. But with the Eververse calendar, nothing. Can't tell you until next week. So hopefully there'll be some more fantastic stuff that you can get. But it doesn't look like there's going to be too much of your weekly offerings. This looks like there's going to be one offering for silver that is unavailable to look at in the API at this point in time for the new event. And the rest of the stuff from Bright Dust has come in either previous Solstice events, so it's come back in so you can see it in the API. So we'll quickly run through that for you. So from Tuesday the 19th, we have available for silver, which is your real world money purchases. If you would like the Wings of the Firebird exotic ship, that will be for 800 silver.
Yes, please. Oh, silver. Damn it. Wait, no, that's the Wings of the Firebird is out right now, isn't it? Hold on. Are you saying it's still going to be here next week?
Yeah, the weekly offerings is basically the featured page on the Eververse store when you first click into it.
Yeah,
but most of the time
this week, dude.
Most of the stuff is available
right.
for the following.
Is it for Bright Dust this week or silver? Because a lot of times they'll put things up for both.
Yeah.
It's for silver.
Are you sure it's the Firebird?
I'm looking at it currently. Yes.
Swift
Are you sure you're reading the right page?
Yes.
No.
No.
Yeah.
No, but this is the featured page.
Is it? Yes. Oh, yeah. So maybe it should be different weekly offerings. Is it also the corporate sponsorship, convertible shell, and the Lunatic's Legacy?
Nope, it's convertible shell and Lunatic's Legacy. That's the same. So the Firebird, the Lunatic's Legacy is the same. However, we have the convertible shell, Ghost Shell.
What about the corporate sponsorship, which is going to be a weapon?
That's there too. That's currently right there. Yep.
Okay.
Which is for the sweet business, but I'm not sure what it seems to be. They're sponsoring the corporation of Pink and Purple, so Dusk and Dawn. That seems to be the corporate sponsorship they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
But that's only a silver item this season.
I know.
So that's going to be 700 silver.
I'm trying to justify the purchase of it, but I haven't touched the sweet business all season.
Don't worry until next season. You can hopefully get it after that. And if not, it'll be available for silver again.
It will be.
Eventually, yeah.
And
it's a weapon ornament.
It's such a hard time to buy single things for silver that are just cosmetics.
Okay, from now on, I'm going to skip over those weekly offerings for silver because normally they do. I mean, they have a featured page that goes, oh, look at this fantastic stuff. But then when you actually look at the season, they have everything available. Like a couple of weeks ago, they had the doggo featured, but the doggo's still there and it's just featured all the time. It's like, give up then.
Well, that's a charity thing. That's probably going to be hanging out for a minute.
Okay, moving on to Bright Dust. So this is the stuff that you can earn in-game via bounties or doing your challenges. And I did see somebody worked out like you can get over 1,000 Bright Dust from just doing bounties each week, plus another 10,000 from getting to a level 100 on your season pass. Fantastic if you can do that. Well, if you've got the purchase track on the season pass. If not, you still get some Bright Dust on the free track. You do not need your concentrated matter gem, you do not need your glimmer shard, and you do not need your scavenger's boons because there are mods on your ghosts that you can equip that will do exactly what it does here, and you don't have to spend it on Bright Dust.
Yeah,
so, Bungie, just remove them. Just get rid of them.
There was a Reddit post this week that just said, remember, no matter how useless you feel, you're not a matter gem.
rough.
It's accurate.
So we have the Breathe In exotic emote for 3,250 bright dust.
Nice.
The Happy Smiles rare emote for 400 bright dust. The Beach Ball effect, which is your legendary transmat effect, where you just transmat as a giant beach ball. That will be for 450 bright dust. The Tangerine Gloss, which will be your legendary shader, available for 300 bright dust. So these are past event stuff from Solstice that have come back into the API. So if you missed them in the last couple of Solstice events, they're available next week. And then on the featured page for Bright Dust, which is further down, we have the exotic emote, the Festival Dance. That will be for 3,250 bright dust. Garden Glaive, legendary emote for 700 bright dust. Jubilant Shell, which is a beach ball exotic ghost shell for 2,850 bright dust.
Quite jubilant.
The Blacklight Razor exotic sparrow, that will be 2,500 bright
That's
dust.
a cool looking one. Yep.
It is. The Soul Piercer exotic ship, and that will be for 2,000 bright dust. Beach Header 6, that would be your exotic ornament for the Merciless, which nobody uses and probably nobody has heard of for quite some time. This is a fusion rifle, and it was amazing when it first came into Destiny 2 in year 1, and it's subsequently had nerfs and buffs, but I don't see many people playing with it. I had heard on the grapevine that it was doing quite well in PvP, but yeah. So yeah, for your Merciless exotics fusion rifle, that would be for 1,250 bright dust. And then finally, the Buried Treasure projection for your Ghost will be 1,500 bright dust. And then there'll be many more offerings for silver next week that you can purchase if you can't wait for following weeks. Most of the stuff that is available for bright dust and silver, they kind of cross over in weeks. So some weeks it'll be for silver, and then you kind of have to wait a week or two, and then it'll be for bright dust. So just keep your ear to the ground, or keep your eyes on the Eververse. Sorry?
Or listen to the show. Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, that too. That works. We say things.
We do
Sometimes
say things.
Things are true.
Say things. Oftentimes are even accurate things.
Yeah.
At least to the best of our knowledge.
And the next things I can tell you is what lost sectors are coming up next week, so that you can go and get some exotics if you're new to the game, or if you're just farming for exotics, because this may be where you're at in the game at this point in time. You may just want to get some of the new hotnesses. You may want to get your Caliban hands for your hunters, or your Loreley Splendors for your titans, or
your fancy new void shoulders that you still haven't gotten yet because you keep missing arm day.
Do that, or you could get the legs for your warlock, which either burn things or burn things.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of legs that burn things for warlocks. Pretty decent.
Does it aggravate anybody else that those come on a day-by-day basis instead of just go to this dungeon to farm arms, this one to farm legs, this one to farm heads?
No.
You know? No, really? Okay.
No.
Because I was miss it by a day, and I'm like, crap, now I gotta wait a week. And then, of course, I forget when that week rolls around again.
Get your diary out. Put it in the diary now. We will wait until you get your diary out.
It doesn't have a diary.
Yeah, that's I look at it this way. I know when they're coming up. I just haven't made the effort to actually go do it on those days, or I'm out and helping someone move and don't have time to go do it those days. So it'll happen again. I mean, honestly, it's not like I've touched void this season, but I want those new arms anyway.
Yeah,
those new arms are beautiful.
Hello.
So yeah, lost sectors. Don't forget there are also challenges that go along with the lost sectors, or triumph. Sorry, wherever it is. So on the Throne World, Nessus, Moon, EDZ, there are challenges that you can do with going through them flawlessly on the master version, or just completing them on the master version and the legendary version. So if you like collecting triumph score, that's another thing to look out for. Next week, Monday the 18th, we'll start on Monday the 18th because hopefully the show will be out in time, will be the K1 crew quarters on the moon, giving you exotic arms. So that's Arms Day.
Monday is Arms Day. Got it.
Is Monday a good day for you?
We'll see. Unknown at this point.
Fair enough. Tuesday the 19th will be the K1 Logistics on the moon, giving you exotic chess pieces. Wednesday will be the K1 Revelations on the moon, giving exotic helmets. So there's your Loreley Splendor Day. Thursday the 21st will be the K1 Communion on the Moon, giving exotic legs. Friday will be the Confluxes, that's the 22nd, on Nessus, giving arms again. So that's a good one to go and do. The Nessus one's pretty quick.
Monday and Thursday. Got it.
Saturday the 23rd will be the Metamorphosis on the Throne World, giving exotic chess pieces. Sunday the 24th of July will be Sepulchre on the Throne World, giving exotic helmets. See, I said it right that time.
I know.
I learned a word. It is good. And then back round to Monday the 25th of July will be the Extraction on the Throne World, giving you legs again. There you go. Leg day, arm day, helmet day, chest day, all the days. And we have guides in our show notes going over those from Monkey's Jam, Legionless, Time Sausage Gaming, PV Shifty.
And after all that, you'll be a very fit guardian.
Or Ibontis. Again, he's put out quite a few guides over the last couple of weeks going over each individual Lost Sector. Go and check out his channel. I will link him in the show notes under the Lost Sector rotation if you want to go and check out somebody else that does specific Lost Sector guides. Yep. I'll just type that in there so that I don't forget. Ibontis. He also has a podcast as well called The Last Word.
He does.
They do generally talk about Destiny stuff as well.
Well, now we've told you where you can go, what you can get, and how you can look good doing it. And even our best guess is what's happening next week with the introduction of Solstice. Again, not of Heroes, just Solstice.
No.
So now
we used to be Heroes back a couple of years ago.
I'm still a hero.
Used to be Heroes.
If you became a hero, can they really take it away from you unless you become evil?
Yeah. Happens all the time, dude.
You either die young or you live long enough to become the villain. And here we are.
Well, normally for Solstice, for the last, I don't know, I think it was the 3 years prior to last year, we also had Moments of Triumph as well, which was like, you were doing so many different things. There were so many triumphs, so many challenges to do. It's kind of good that they've split it up. And it was mainly due to last year with Witch Queen being delayed that they kind of did Solstice first, and then we kind of got the Moments of Triumph come, I think it was around Christmas time. And it's probably going to be about the same this time, that it's kind of that celebration of the end of the year of this is what you've done or should have done this year. We will make you go and do it again if you want to get some Triumph score. But Solstice is kind of, it's now its own little event that is just Solstice, which is quite nice. And apparently it's still a grand tradition among Guardians.
Yeah.
And it's a time for us to reflect on past hardships and celebrate resilience of humanity's foremost defenders. And going on previous requirements for participation in the event, normally you have to escape the Cosmodrome and unlock the tower. So if you're a new player or you're somebody new into the game, they do have to do that kind of first mission to unlock the tower. That's it. Well, I say first mission. It's missions with Shoreham. And I did hear, I was watching a YouTube video, and I'll tell you a bit about that later, that it takes about 3 hours to get through as a new Guardian to get to the tower. So that's what you're kind of looking at if you're a new player. And once you've met those requirements, you can speak to Eva Levante in the Tower Courtyard to receive a quest. And that's what normally happens, is there's a short little quest of go here, do this. This is how this works, because each year we change it up, and we like to make sure that we kind of change it up and people can't kind of copy and paste what they did last year.
Can't have that.
I've tried to go copy and paste.
And Bungie said, no, you don't get to copy and paste.
Well, I can still tell people stuff about previous Solstices.
Just be wrong.
That some of it still makes sense. And I mean, I wonder, for the last couple of years, when we played the Solstice event, we had access to the European Aerial Zone, which is kind of these floating rocks, and it's like a floating city, isn't it? And it was joined by rocks and things. And they said this year, I think they were going to join the rocks with platforms to make it easier to get across from one side of the map to the other. And with that,
and not only that, they made that quality of life improvement where they show you the locations of all the chests for a little while.
They did. Well, no, they did it. Originally, it was they'd show you for like 5 seconds, and then you'd have to go and hunt down the chests at the end of the match.
Right.
And last year, it was they just showed you where the chests were, which was a great relief to many content creators. It was like, well, I've created a map of where all the chests could possibly be, and now they're just kind of permanently on the map, which is quite nice. And the way that the event worked in previous years is that you got keys and boxes and you unlocked it. They haven't really said whether we're still going to be doing that in the event or if it's just going to be for the new currencies that they've told us in the 12. So in previous years, you've got like keys to unlock boxes, and then they had specific, there was like an event shotgun last year. It's called the Compass Rose. Again, they haven't detailed whether that's coming back. It possibly could be, but just again, it's one of those things that they're kind of keeping close to their chest this season, which they did for the beginning.
So you clearly haven't seen the Cheese Forever, the entire Solstice 2022 event explained in one image.
I have.
I
can
have,
tell
but
you. I can tell you exactly how it works.
That is basically from the 12 breaking it down. But go on, tell the people.
Shall we tell the people the condensed version before we give them the non-condensed version?
Yeah.
Of everything in one image. So Solstice has an event card that tracks your Solstice seal, your Solstice seal, multi-event seal, and challenges. Challenges give you kindling and event tickets. You need to pay 1,000 silver for upgrading your event card in order to spend your earned event tickets.
No, you
Tickets
don't
are used
need
to buy exclusive.
can if you want to.
Exactly. Tickets are used to buy exclusive cosmetics. So pay the 1,000 silver, you get pretty trinkets. Don't pay the 1,000 silver, you don't get as many pretty trinkets, but you can still play the event. You spend kindling on your armor 3 times to max the stat potential of that armor slot to 15 times. So basically, throw kindling into armor, you get better armor. Complete the usual activities to earn silver leaves, assuming playlist activities. Complete Solstice Bonfire Bash activity to turn leaves into silver ash. Spend your silver ash on your armor to re-roll the armor. 20 points guaranteed in your selected stat. So there is the ability to re-roll things with this silver ash by playing the Bonfire Bash activity, which is basically the thing we're going to do on EAZ this time around. It may or may not stack with armor mods on the Ghost. That remains to be seen. Until the event's live, we won't know. Repeat on each armor piece. Upgrade armor slot with kindling 3 times to make it glow white. Spend your silver or your bright dust to unlock color matching subclass glows as armor ornaments. All event challenges will be available at the beginning of the event. Complete every event challenge to get the seal. Then you can make progress gilding the seal, which is not retroactive because didn't exist before. Multi-event seal will take 1 year of progress to finish. And upgrading the event card with 1,000 silver grants the hot dog eating emote, the sunny exotic shell, and the iris shader. So if you don't care about those 3 things, do not upgrade your seal for 1,000 silver, or your card for 1,000 silver. You don't need it. And then you spend your event tickets on challenges to get the skateboarding emote, 2 holograms, a ship, and a transmat effect. So that is all of the Solstice in one image that Cheese Forever tweeted out.
It's very kind of him. Now, something I was going to ask you guys is that in previous years, we've had these different burns or elemental burns and buffs available. Do you think that these are going to be coming back? Because I don't think it's going to be something that they get rid of, because they were quite cool to kind of enhance your gameplay. I mean, it might break the solar elements, but just as a kind of quick overview of these, we had
it during Void 3.0, didn't we?
No,
because we didn't have a Solstice.
we had it.
Yeah,
We had it through Stasis, didn't we? Because and I can't remember if there was a Stasis elemental day as well. So each day it would give you a different elemental buff. And solar, you equip your solar subclass and weapons to generate solar orbs, and then collect them to wield solar elemental powers. And while you're empowered, Guardians emitted a burning wave of energy that damaged anything around them. It just kind of exploded out of you, which was quite cool. The Void elemental buff was equipping your Void subclass, Void weapons, and pick up Void orbs. And for the wielder to be collecting those, that would give you, if you crouched while empowered, it become invisible and gain true sight. So that was even Titans at that point. So I think I technically won on technicality of, if that rolled around again, Titans could go invisible. Anyway, you gain true sight and invisibility. Arc elemental buff, again, Arc subclass, Arc or weapons, pick up the Arc orbs. That gave you Guardians moved with enhanced speed and dealt greater damage with melee and sword damage. And those effects last for a short time, but they didn't have any effect in competitive or Gambit in the last couple of years. So again, it wasn't last year. So hopefully Bungie have got the coding right that it wouldn't happen this year if we still have these elemental burns.
Hey,
Give us enhanced trials, you cowards.
pause for a second.
Yeah.
So apparently the birthday party where my wife is at is getting rained out currently. So I have got to go pick them up. So I'll be back in about 30. All right?
Are you leaving your stream on?
Yes.
Hi, stream!
All
You are left with the 2 Titan.
Leaving left unsupervised.
We can say things about him that he knows he's not going to listen back to you.
Fun.
Except for when he joins in from the car and starts shouting at us.
Accurate.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So I'm hoping we do have at least some. I can't remember. Have they told us? And again, we have not actually looked at this TWAB. We have not gotten to the TWAB yet of the, slow breakdown of what we're going to explain to you. But have they told us what the Bonfire Bash is, other than it's we revamped the EAZ and there's a different thing to play on it?
Well, I
Go
think this
forth
was
and
something
murder?
that they covered about 2 or 3 TWABs ago. They don't cover it in this TWAB. They just go back and read this other TWAB that we wrote about 2 months ago. But from what I can gather is that there will be different bonfires on the EAZ that you'll have to race to and defend from horde waves of different enemies. And then once you've done that,
That's
you can kind of
right.
then move on to the next one. And I think that's how it's going to work this year, rather than I think last year it was you had to go and find an enemy in different locations. So it's a 3-player activity, and again, I don't think they've detailed that this year of how many players it is, but it's normally just like a fire team of 3. And what you'd find is that either maybe one person would go one way, one person go the other, and one person would kind of head down the middle. And you'd find these bosses that all kind of dotted around that'd be glowing, killed them, and you got kind of was that how you got the keys to drop to then unlock the boxes at the end? Something like that.
Yeah.
But that's not
Yeah.
how it's
Yeah.
going to work now, so there's no point in telling you. It's go and get these bonfires, defend the bonfires, kill the enemies that kind of swarm to you, and then just move on to the next one, from what I'm kind of gathering from reading these TWABs.
Yeah, which is funny. Yeah. So I went back and looked at the old TWAB, which was the one from the 19th of May, where they talked about this. And it says, there'll be a new EAZ activity called Bonfire Bash, where Guardians will be building and stoking what can only be described as paracausal bonfires, while the enemies of summer fun, including the Taken, Cabal, Hive, and Fallen, will attempt to crash the party and extinguish the fires. It's your mission to guard the flames from the oncoming waves of enemies. And we've made traversing the EAZ easier by adding the floating islands and removing the building barriers for maximum maneuverability. And then they say, we'll give you more information as it gets closer to time. So are we closer to time yet? Maybe. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
but
yeah,
question,
it's
if you're listening, or anybody else out there that knows this stuff, paracausal fires, wouldn't that kill us?
Yeah,
just a lore question out there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Respawn was like, do we want to be near the paracausal fires? That seems bad. That seems like not a thing we want to be stoking or standing near to warm our hands.
But if
Seems
you've played
dangerous.
Solstice events, it sounds like it's very much similar. That it's a 3-player match-made activity that can be launched from the tower director. Your goal to defeat as many mini bosses as possible, so it's save as many fires as possible. When your time runs out, you'll face off against a final boss. That's how it normally is. Maybe they haven't detailed again. And again, once the boss is defeated, we usually set out across the EAZ in search of the treasure chests. Maybe they'll have something similar like that this year, that you'll have to go and collect extra feathers or ash or whatever else it is. And the chest that they had in the previous years normally contained that you open with your Solstice keys contained like extra armor and chances at weapons. So
yeah, it's something new they've revamped, and we're gonna find out next Tuesday when it drops. We get to enjoy it then. And
do you
either buy
reckon
your
we'll still
event
have
card
to
or don't buy your
meditate
event
with
card.
our armor? Because normally when we upgrade our armor with Eva Levante, she's like, "Oh, come stand next to me and meditate." I think that threw a lot of people off last year that new that came to the Solstice event. Like, well, I've done all the things that it says on the armor, because what it was in the last couple of years was it gave you specific requirements of killing so many different bosses with Solar Void and Stasis to unlock your armor last couple of years. You would then have to meditate at the tower with Eva Levante to then say that it's upgraded. So hopefully this year it won't be too complicated to do that. Hopefully it's pretty straightforward. Well, I say pretty straightforward. There's ash, there's silver, there's loads of kind of intricacies that you kind of have to go through, but they haven't kind of. Hopefully, the quest will walk you through it at the initial quest.
Yeah, but Bungie absolutely loves their materials. They love creating new material. They love giving you a whole new set of materials to figure out what to do with. So yeah, and I mean, and this is where we'll see, your favorite content creator creating videos of here's how to get these different things. Here's how you can farm these different materials. Here's what materials you need to do this with. Because even though Cheese put it into a single image and we told you, and we're also going to be trying to remember, okay, now I have these. How do I get those? How do I get this many of this thing to upgrade this armor? And you'll have the chance to re-roll the armor. So I'm honestly, it's a mechanic I would like to see more of. Give me a chance to earn the thing and then re-roll it versus just giving me 27,000 more pieces of armor that I now have to manage and stick in my vault, or maybe keep because it has one thing I like on it. Like, no, let me build what I create. Let me rework what I've worked hard to acquire from you. I can weapon craft. Let me do a little bit of armor crafting.
And normally what they do with the events is that they'll give you like an exotic sparrow, an exotic ship, an exotic ghost shell to kind of chase for completing the whole event. And hopefully that's going to be with these challenge cards that you're a bit like we've done with this season, that you can kind of get specific themed ghost shells and ships and sparrows and things. One year they did offer us a legendary EV-37 Void Streak Sparrow that hasn't been seen since. So if you've got that, you're very special. Quickly going through what we were able to get, which is some of the things that do pop up in the Eververse store. So there's the pomegranate gloss shader and the tangerine gloss shader. Emotes from 2019, we had Flag on the Play, Paperwork, Breathe In, which is the one that's coming up next week, Silly Handshake, Flick of the Wrist, and Hip Bump. And then there were exotic ghost shells, which was the Shaded Shell, Jubilant Shell, and the Buoyant Shell. We had the Micro Mini exotic Sparrow and the Legacy 2. The Summertide Kite, which was the exotic ship. We had the Triumph Projection, the Buried Treasure Projection. Again, that's from 2019, that's coming back. There was Rare Ghosts that were available, which were the Sunglass Projection. Rare Ghost Projections, which was Sunglass Projection, the Crab Projection, the Beach Ball Projection, the Palm Tree Projection. Sandcastle Effect and the Beach Ball Effect, again from 2019. And 2020 items that may come back. There was the Sweltering Heat and Twisty Dance. There was a legendary multiplayer emote with the Imitating Snap. There was Ghost Shells with hats. You remember this? We had this Spelunking Shell, which is the Fedora style one. Cabana Shell, which is the Beach Palm Tree style one. And the Backspin Shell, which is the Tennis Sunshade style one. The exotic ships were Arena's Grace and On Gilt Wings. And the Soul Piercer was the ship that you had to complete all three sets on all three classes. So that's interesting that the Soul Piercer is actually coming back for Bright Dust next week. So if you didn't go through completing all three sets, which was quite a mammoth task, you do have the chance to just buy the ship outright next week, which is
nice.
I don't know if that's going to be controversial or not. Haven't heard anybody kind of put those things together yet, but maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a massive time commitment for this event.
It used to be, and I think Bungie acknowledged that last year, didn't they? They said we acknowledge and we want to make sure that we give you something.
Yeah, it's such a massive time commitment if you're doing all three sets on multiple characters. Yeah, it's no.
So you may be asking what the EAZ is. It's the European Aerial Zone. So some people refer to it as the EAZ. Some people just say the full name. There are 7 different zones in the EAZ, which I feel will still kind of play quite a big part in communicating to your team or knowing where to go to get these bonfires. So we have the Meditation Ground, the Ruins, the Town, Factory, Mall, Garage, and Courtyard. And when you run to a certain area, it should tell you in one of the corners of your screen where you roughly are. I think it's top right screen. The mini map.
Think of these different zones just like when you're playing PvP and you're on a map. The map will tell you you're in different parts of that map. So like it's one big area you're in, but the different areas have different names. So it'll tell you, the bonfire's over here, the bonfire's over here. In the past, it would say, the boss is here, the boss is there. Here's where you need to go to find them. It would also give you a visual indicator on the map of, hey, here, here's where the thing is. Here's where you need to go. So hopefully that will continue. and we're not running around trying to guess on where things are.
And if they do go with those kind of different burns each day, and you don't pay any attention to when you're loading into it, they should normally, the last couple of years anyway, it does tell you on the screen. It says that the solar energies blast through the EAZ, filling the air with the smell of sun-baked earth. Arc is crackles through the EAZ, filling the air with the smell of ozone. And Void filled you with potential. So you had potential on Void. Only time I had potential.
Yep. And stasis may or may not give you a thing.
I honestly, I can't remember. And I went through back to the notes of last year. It was like, did we have stasis? Because I can't remember if we did, and I didn't notice it down. I will note it this year. I will go back and note it. But the other thing that they have had in previous years, and sometimes they play an important part of the gameplay, that it kind of gives you a buff or drops extra orbs, is the high value targets that suddenly pop up. Now these are called prismatic tokens that will just kind of spawn in, and it will come up with hunt for the prismatic token. Prismatic token is roaming nearby. Prismatic token has escaped, or defeat the prismatic token hiding near, and it tells you the zone name. And there's a knight, a centurion, and a captain. Again, we don't know if they will play an important part. They didn't mention it last year, but again, they were roaming around last year, so that's why I kind of kept it in the notes for last year. And they did have various different bosses, but again, there's no kind of real point in going through those. Bounties, there's always weekly, daily, and repeatable bounties with Eva Levante at the tower. So if you're looking to kind of boost past level 100 or get to level 100, pick these up daily, weekly, and get them done. Normally with the weekly one, it will give you a pinnacle reward, or doing so many bounties with Eva Levante is another way to get a pinnacle reward each week on your characters. So look out for that as well. And it's normally quite a powerful reward. It's normally like +2 in your pinnacle power. So, and again, just to clarify, pinnacles and powerfuls will get you to 1560, and pinnacles will get you past 1560 up to 1570, if you're a bit confused about that, because again, it doesn't really tell you that on the director. And there are different tiers of powerful rewards. So like just doing your bounties with Shax, Zavala, and the Drifter will give you a powerful, which can get you up to 1560. But when you're at 1560, all it will give you is a 1560. It's the pinnacles that you then need to kind of boost you to get to the 1570 if you're kind of trying to do that challenge, or if you're trying to get into the Grandmasters, because that's pretty much, or in trials, if you're looking for a highlight in trials, those are kind of the only two places it kind of matters at the moment.
Yeah, or just preparing for next season, because that's your floor. Your ceiling for the season is your floor for next season, because it's going to go up like 10 more points again. And just like this season, it's going to be a small boost of your light level. It's not going to be another big 50-point grind. So the higher you are now, the higher you are going in.
And a couple of tips that have kind of transported over time with the EAZ is that normally it's easier to run along the rooftops to get to the different mini bosses. So I'm guessing it's going to be the same to get to the bonfires, that if you can get up high, it's a lot easier to kind of get yourself to where you need to go. There are also transporters or teleporters on floating rocks on the edge of the maps. And what it will kind of do is once you hit it, it drops you down from a high point in that map. So just be careful. If you kind of run over one, it will just drop you in the middle of across the other side of the map, quite high up. So don't use all your jumps before you get there. And that was always quite useful for searching for chests. Also the mini bosses as well. You could use it as a quick shortcut to get across to the other side of the map.
Yep. I'm assuming any or all of this is going to still be here.
Well, I mean, yeah, if they've taken it out, they've taken it out. But again, new players might come across this thing and go, "What's this glowing over here?" and step on it, and then just die. Just trying to pre-warn you.
But that's part of the fun of learning.
Long range weapons were the thing to use in the last couple of years to hit the mini bosses, because some of the challenges were you had to at least kill a minibus, and the only way to actually get that with your opponents kind of you were fighting for that kill is that you had to get at least one shot on that mini boss, and we had to use long range weapons. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I think it's going to be a lot of more kind of close range stuff, keeping yourself alive. So Solar 3.0 is going to be fantastic for the classy restoration and things like that, standing near a bonfire and just fending off all these bosses and waves of enemies. So those are the things that I can I thought about that kind of might help you going into this event. And I will also link the older Solstice links if you are interested, going back to 2019, because some of them are interesting. There's EAZ chess locations and chess routes, if those things still pop up. If not, you can just ignore them. Froggy 618157725 did a video last year where there was a hidden cat statue from the Dreaming City, which was underneath the map. And last year, I believe you could actually go and collect it, and it gave you something. I can't remember what it did. It may still be there. It may be completely disappeared. But if you kind of want to know, and it's popped up again this year, Froggy's got a video, so that'll be in our show notes. But yeah, as you said, we can kind of go into what they actually do tell us in the trial this year for Solstice.
The information we give you, and then the information Bungie gives you.
Yeah. Because this year it has changed with event cards, because this is something they want to kind of do, that you play the event, you actually get rewarded for the event. And if you complete the event card, you can take this event card to the next event that's coming up, which will probably be the Festival of the Lost in October, and complete that card. And then you get it's a bigger like event card, isn't it? I can't remember what they called it now.
I mean, that's what they're talking about. Needing to take like a full year to get your seal done and stuff. Because like each, before, like all of Bungie's sort of seasonal events didn't really connect. Only in that each Bungie season you would have some sort of seasonal event, Solstice or Moments of Triumph, or the Halloween one, which I'm drawing a blank on the name of, but like
Festival of the Lost.
Festival of the Lost. Thank you. Yeah, like there'd be something to do, and they weren't really connected. There were sort of some lore stories like, oh, this is our time to celebrate being guardians and all the the hard work we've done and whatever. So now there's actually like a connecting thread between these, and the event card is sort of going to be that, hey, I really like these events. Here's a thing I can go play and do and earn, if for all of these events that we've done, versus just like the seasonal armor, or maybe there's a weapon worth chasing, like the title last time around or something like that. So do I need? And this is something we'll continue to mention, because a lot of people said, oh, they're making me pay money to do this, and I don't like that, and blah, 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 whatever. This is where we first remind you that, one, you don't have to buy anything. Do not have to buy anything for this event. It is totally optional. It is totally cosmetic only. You're not missing out on gear or loot by not buying this. The second thing is the event card is free for all players. So the card, totally free. And you view your card by interacting with Eva in the tower, or via the quest tab next to your seasonal challenges. And your event card is where your challenges, your seal, your title, basically all the things you're going to need. Just like the Moments of Triumph had the holiday oven where you would go to see all the recipes and all the things you could bake. It's sort of the same idea. Your event card will have sort of all the things about that event in that part.
Okay,
in the
so it's
director.
not filling up your inventory they haven't done it for a long time, but sometimes there are things that overflow into your inventory. Hopefully not this one.
Yeah, but Bungie again makes this point: the free events you know and love will remain the same, and some of the free rewards are now claimed via the event card, which you do not require to upgrade. So again, you can play this event without spending a single penny or thinking about it, and just go forth and play the event. Earn your armor, move forward. Everybody's happy. If you do want to pay the 1,000 silver, which I think is about $10 US, and heck, at this point, I think $10 or 10 pound or $10 EU, because I think it's a 1-to-1 1-to-1 match at this point. You can upgrade your card and pay your 1,000 silver. Then you'll get your instant claimable reward bundle, the ability to spend event tickets for more rewards. And this is where your extra, again, cosmetics only, your ornaments, your emotes, your shaders. Like you're not getting more gear. You're just going to look prettier if you want to spend the money. You can do this any point in the 3-week run of Solstice, but you have to spend all your tickets before Solstice ends on the 9th of August.
4 weeks is the last week, isn't it? Yeah. Oh wow. No, it is a 3-week event. So why is the 4th week?
Maybe it's a 3-week event, and then the 4th week is just spend the stuff you've earned, or if like some of us, you're going to be inaccessible on a boat for some of those weeks, then you can't do anything. It'll give you a chance to claim what
Yeah,
you've
that
earned.
makes no sense because they'll have Solstice stuff available for the week of the 9th of August. So that's the Tuesday up until the 16th. So I think that might be a complete typo.
Could be. We'll see.
Mm.
I don't know. I mean, there's or yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the stuff you can claim through the card will be different because the card is its own standalone thing, and I assume I guess the card won't go away if it's going to be around for event to event. So is that another thing I now have to keep the card in my inventory between events, or is that going to just sort of live in, Bounty Land or with all the Triumph stuff? More things to manage.
Yeah.
More
We'll
things to keep
clarify it
track
next
of.
week anyway with the event
Yeah.
tickets. But I think the idea is that if you play the game enough and you don't really care about getting the exclusive emote shaders, whatever else that they've got in this upgrade bundle for 1,000 silver, as long as you're playing the event over and over again, you'll get the tickets that will then give you the same stuff that anybody that spent that 1,000 silver to kind of get that leap ahead, or the fact that they can't play, they're going to use the silver. You'll still get the same. You can still get the same stuff apart from the exotic stuff, the emotes and ghost shell and things. They're
I
kind of
mean,
giving you along with that.
right. I mean, if you really want to spend your 1,000, you can get your hot dog eating champ. You can get your Sunny exotic ghost shell, which is a ghost shell with a nice sun hat on it. I can't remember. I think the other two things they said were shaders and stuff. So yeah, I mean, again, it's purely all cosmetic stuff. If you really want it or want to support Bungie and give them a little more money, do that. If not, don't. Like this is one of the easiest times it feels like to be able to say you can spend this money or not, and you're gonna have the same experience. Like you're not, and Bungie makes a point, you're not gonna miss out on this event by not upgrading your ticket. It's just if you're gonna play a ton of this and want more rewards, do that and earn more rewards. If you're gonna play a little bit, dip your toe in, don't spend the money, and you earn what you earn and move on with life.
And like we've just kind of gone through the previous stuff that was available in like 2019, 2020, even last year, then comes back up in the Eververse store. So who's to say that, yes, you've purchased them for silver exclusivity for this year, but those two items or even the shaders come back up in Solstice next year, that you don't necessarily have to then have spent silver.
Yeah, and that's the other point of this stuff comes back around. The 2019 stuff is back, the 2020 stuff is back. So a lot of this stuff is not exclusive to this single year. It may be exclusive to Solstice, so you have to wait a year for it to come back. But yeah, it's not like a one and done, gone forever. If you really want to be a hot dog eating champ, you may have another chance.
So before the event starts this coming week, Bungie want to walk us through the basics of how armor upgrading works in Solstice with design lead CJ Payne, and he's going to give us a preview of how the upgrading your Solstice armor will go. He says, "Hi everyone. We want to change the way that you earn and upgrade armor with this update to Solstice, and as part of that, we've removed those pesky objectives from the armor and streamlined the upgrade process for all classes." Because I think I just kind of alluded to that previously when we were talking about it. It was like, go and kill 200 bosses here, go and use this like void subclass, like until you kind of your eyes are
complete
bleeding.
a raid, go play trials, go do a bunch of lost sectors. And it was there's still stuff from last year I've never done.
Yeah, I think they've kind of just boiled it down to just play the event. We will give you the stuff, play the event. The goals were to focus on actively upgrading the armor the entire event through new player actions, provide agency and choice with how you upgrade your armor, give players a chance to reasonably chase armor rolls for the duration of the event, tie together acquiring and upgrading armor with the theme of Solstice, and lower the barrier to entry for players who haven't engaged with armor stats. So this is anybody that's kind of chasing high armor stats or looking at other Guardians and going, well, how do I get like something to drop in like 60s, 70s, 80s? Oh, and saying that, if this podcast comes out in time, go and visit Zer, who is in the tower, in the hangar. He has a god roll, is it the Crown of Tempest for the Warlocks, with a 70 stat roll.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and like 30 resilience. If you follow anybody who covers Destiny, you've seen this 1,000 times already. But yeah, go buy one, stash in your vault for next season.
Yeah, next
Arc
season
3.0
with
is coming.
It's going to be cool.
It's going to be excellent.
If you ever wanted to chase down specific armor rolls, Solstice is your time to shine. Want a 100 resilience build? You got it. Need a new armor set for Nightfalls, Crucible, and Gambit? We've got you covered. And with a little luck, maybe you'll get the god roll you've been waiting for. So upgrading your Solstice armor requires finding and spending new event currencies, and here's what you should be looking for. So silver leaves, you can earn silver leaves by completing activities throughout the game. And that's normally doing Crucible, doing Gambit, just playing the game. Hopefully it's just going to be doing like stuff on the Castellum as well, doing like the new stuff for the Haunted. Doing that, you'll get a small amount of these silver leaves that can then be transformed into silver ash by completing the new activity, which is then once you've accumulated, there's probably going to be a limit on how many leaves you can collect. So once you've hit the cap on your silver leaves, pay attention to this, because you may not, again, watch a YouTuber or a streamer say, oh, by the way, these only go up to 30 before you then have to go and play the Bonfire Bash in the EAZ, but you will. So you have to transform your silver leaves into silver ash by completing the new activity Bonfire Bash on the EAZ. And then you can spend your silver ash to reroll armor stats from the armor mod screen. And with that comes kindling, because you need to make a fire, you need kindling. And you can earn kindling by completing Solstice event challenges. And this is normally through doing like the bounties and doing different things each day that they say go and do 10 of these things or play the EAZ until your eyes bleed. But you will earn some kindling from just doing the event challenges. And you can spend kindling to upgrade your armor stat roll potential. Each piece of armor can be upgraded 3 times, so that's 3 tiers. And that's normally how it goes. It normally goes kind of it was a drain set, wasn't it? Then it was a reprise set, and then it was the majestic set, which was the all flowing, glowing kind of set that you get. So again, we're going to have to upgrade each piece if we want them to glow with all the different glows or just the armor glow. And what it has been in previous years is that once you've upgraded your set, you'll get a white glow on the armor set, which is really nice. You don't have to spend any silver, don't have to spend any bright dust. But then what they offer you in the store is normally a box set that says if you purchase this for, I think it's something like 6,000 bright dust, 1,500 silver, is a bundle of, it will change your glow to solar, arc, void, and stasis. It will give you those specific glows for that set, and they are character based. So if you want them on each set, like you have with the specific universal ornaments for each season. So this season we've got that lovely solar set for each class. Again, it will be for each class you'll have to purchase those bundle boxes. So just be aware of that if you want to make them look like solar, void, or arc. Or you could just rock the white glow if you just want to do that. You do you. So you'll need to do this once per armor slot, and every time you upgrade a piece of Solstice armor, it is permanent and shared across all pieces for that slot. So if you upgrade a helmet all the way to tier 3, every Solstice helmet currently in your inventory and any of your further helmets you earn for that class can now access tier 3 stacked rolls. But that's for that class. That's not across Titan, Hunter, and Warlock. So sometime, I think last year, wasn't it, that you could do the last set on, you could do like a Grandmaster on, say, the Titan helmet and unlock that node. It would then carry across to the Hunter and the Warlock. They're not saying that this time, are they, Peroty?
No, they're not saying it, which is not to say it won't happen. But yeah, since they're redoing the whole, go do this activity, it would basically, once you do the activity, it would carry through. So just more, maybe it'll be different, maybe it'll be the same. There's a lot we don't know, and we're just sort of guessing at.
Hopefully it's what they say here, that it's once per armor slot. So if you spend the whole time on your Titan, you can then go and pick up like the tier 3 set on your Warlock. But just be aware, in previous years it was you had to have kind of got each one to that tier 3 stat on each character, and then it would kind of work the same way that they're kind of telling you here, that every then after that tier 3 or everything in your vault would then kind of upgrade to tier 3 stat rolls. Hopefully it works like that. So let's break this down and make it less complicated so that everybody understands. Complete event challenges to earn kindling. Use kindling to permanently upgrade your Solstice armor stat roll potential. And in the 12, they do give you a little picture going over that, and it says small kindling. Add kindling to this armor in order to imbue it with glowing embers. Kindling is acquired from completing event challenges, and small kindling will be added across all candescent armor of the same slot. Complete a wide variety of activities throughout the game to earn silver leaves. Complete the Solstice activity Bonfire Bash to transform silver leaves into silver ash. Use the silver ash to reroll armor stats from the armor mod screen. Keep earning and spending silver ash to reroll armors to get the stats that you want. And once you've fully rerolled a stat piece on the armor, pick up new pieces for the same slot to start rerolling stats again. So that's pretty cool. And as I've kind of gone over, that the Solstice Glow sets will be free and paid for, like in previous years. So you will have access to the white glow if you just complete the sets, and you have to pay for the specific element burns glows if you want the other ones. Once your armor is all nice and shiny and you've gained access to high stat roll focusing on stats or 2 of your choices. So this just means that you can kind of reroll the armor to maybe be high in resilience and strength, or resilience and discipline. You'll have a chance to kind of do that once you've kind of accessed all of that on that armor piece. So that's pretty cool. You can kind of hone what you want to build into. That's everything you need to know about Solstice armor upgrading. Check out the event next week to discover everything Solstice has to offer and get ready to build your perfect armor set. Are you ready, Peroty?
I am as ready as I'm going to be.
Did that all make sense to you? I mean, I say that you're an existing player, it kind of makes sense to you because you kind of roughly know where we're coming from.
Right. Well, like it made sense to me, but I also honestly saved this cheese forever tweet of everything in a single image because I always struggle every single season, every event with, okay, I have 8 new currencies to figure out. What is the play loop I need to do to earn these currencies to get what I want to do done? Like I almost wish like just someone give me a flow chart. Here's the thing you need to do. You need to take this, turn it into this, make it this, and now you can spend it. Okay, good. That's what I want to know. So that I'm going to be, while I understand it now, come Tuesday, I will not have remembered half of what we said and will need to refer to what is the loop of all these new materials I need to earn.
Yeah.
So yeah, as a new player, I honestly don't know if it's better or worse coming into this because it's all brand new materials every single event. And then figuring out, just what loop do I need to play to earn the materials? What do I need to go do where to earn these materials? Because I wish Bungie would say, like have a little thing on like, the Crucible Gambit and Vanguard playlist, like, hey, play this to earn, I don't even remember, play this to earn your leaves and then take your leaves and then, go to EAZ. Okay, play EAZ to turn your leaves into ash, or, again, what I've already forgotten what the steps are. It's not important, but, just, I wish it told you somewhere in the game, here's the gameplay loop you want to do to make this event fun, to make this event profitable. You want to get to the point where you're upgrading your armor. Here's how you do that without totally relying. Now, I'm not saying don't listen to us. I'm not saying don't rely on us, but without totally relying, if you haven't found our show or don't have a favorite YouTube streamer or Twitch streamer who is going to tell you how to do this event, it's not clear in the event at all how you're meant to do the event.
No.
So am I ready? Absolutely. Am I going to forget this all by Tuesday? Also, absolutely.
I'm just hoping that the caps, or if there is a cap for these, is quite high, because I don't want to be playing an event or just completing activities through the game and get to the point of it capping out and then I don't realise for quite some time, which normally what happens. And I've lost out on actually getting the things to then go back and do I hope that there's quite a significant cap on these. I mean, because there always has to be a kind of cap. Oh, I say they don't have to have a cap. They should have it uncapped. It should just be you go and earn as many leaves as you want, and then when you are ready, you go and play your Bonfire Bash and convert that into your ash, and then at that point you can start re-rolling your armor. And that's what I hope has happened. Just going on previous things that I know that caps kind of come into play, and they try and force people, like, you can go off and play like 5 or 6 like strikes, but you're going to need to come back to the AZ because we've capped you out at this point. And there's always moaning, there's always complaints, and they don't ever seem to kind of take that cap off.
Yeah, and at least they've done where, at least they made the change now where if you can go to your inventory of those materials, and at least, like the color of the material changes. like if you hit the cap, it'll put a little bold on it or a little background
Yeah,
to say like, hey, to signify you've hit your cap. But there's nothing to tell you while you're playing, like, oh, by the way, Guardian, you've maxed out the number of whatevers you can earn. Please, go to the EAZ to turn these number, or go run a bonfire bash. There's no pop up in the game to alert you of this. So you really just have to be, have to keep track of these things and just check periodically, going, hey, I've done Vanguard strikes for a while and earning my sweet double XP. Maybe I should go see if I've maxed out this, number of leaves and I need to go take them into the EAZ to play with them. Or, hey, I've done a whole bunch of bonfire bashes. I'm probably, am I going to run out of what I need to progress further? Probably, yes. Yeah, that's, again, it's just, it goes back to the gameplay loop of what do I need to play? How do I need to play it? So I can actually benefit from this. Just like when you rank up in something, it sort of maybe tells you, but it doesn't really make it super clear that, hey, you've ranked up your Vanguard, go reset it so you can continue to earn XP versus just, no, keep running your strikes. You'll be fine. You'll figure it out at some point when you go to look.
Yeah. So would you like to tell us about the Foundation update?
I would love to, because we have 1 week down, 1 week to go. And Bungie thanks everyone who has shown their Bungie Day Giving Festival support. They've raised $811,000 of their $1 million to date. So, where is this money going? Improving children's health and mental well-being, uplifting the voices and rights of all individuals and communities, and providing humanitarian aid in times of crisis. Which, who among us is not in a time of crisis? Let's be honest here. So, we've told you in the past where you can go. A whole bunch of your favorite streamers, YouTubers, folks are doing, doing streams and charity things and saying, they have their own goal of going to help Bungie hit this $1 million number. If you do $50 or more, you get the new 7 of 7 emblem. They highlight here. If you do $100 or more in donation, you can earn one of the the entire Hearts emblem bundle, which is all of the heart emblems they've had, I'm going to guess, for the past 4 or 5 years. The big bubbly heart, the red pixel heart, I think courtesy of Blue Screen 42, we gave away one of these hearts last year.
I think so.
Because he had done one and had a couple of these left over.
I've got 2 of those.
Yeah. So you can win your heart bundle, and then if you're actually doing one of these charity things, you have a chance to earn some different emblems for helping them raise money. Which again we are not doing because we are not organized, and to Respawn's point, didn't know it was happening. And
hopefully next year.
Yeah, maybe next year we'll actually have our act together and be able to throw a community something together, because it's very cool to see all of these, all the work Bungie Foundation does and all of the Bungie community coming together saying, we're going to raise $1 million for charity. But just a bunch of nerds playing video games, we're going to raise a whole bunch of money, which is amazing. It's just very cool to see them, to be part of that giant community of giving. If you haven't bought your loyal companion emote, he's still there. He's still there as a charity item in the Eververse store, or your delightful plush dog that I'm going to guess is sold out, or I guess it's a pre-order, so I guess I haven't sold out of it yet because I haven't sent you one yet. Although, it does say out of stock, so you may have missed your opportunity on the Prime 40 Artemis plush. But come on, Bungie, make more of them. People want their doggos. And now that we've told you you can spend money or not spend money, again, really, it's up to you. I'm not your dad telling you what to do. We have a player support report, because while it's been, absolutely ages since we had a hotfix, even though we've had some, background maintenance going on, it's time for another hotfix, 415 in this case, coming on Tuesday, July 19th. To be for Destiny 1, Destiny 2, because Destiny 1 still is a thing that exists. I was reminded by, because Bungie was saying that Destiny 1 would be down for an extended time with the hotfix this week. Actually, is this normal time? 6 a.m. Pacific, 1300 UTC. Maintenance begins 45 minutes later. The games are brought offline. 15 minutes later, update 415 rolls out across all the platforms and all the regions. And then an hour later, in theory, maintenance completes. Maintenance will probably go on longer, although it's been hit and miss. Sometimes they're right on time, sometimes, or things break. And what are we going to get resolved in this update? Your tooltips disappear when dismantling items from the postmaster. So those will be there, so you actually can stop after wiggling your mouse or your controller when you want to delete 2 things in a row. So that seems nice. Defeating targets while radiant with knock 'em down aspect is not refunding melee energy when used with Caliban's hand. So all you Caliban Tan users should be happier. And the voice chat volume settings is absent on console platforms. Can't think of the last time I used voice chat in Destiny. It's party chat all the way, but
Yeah.
We're going to have volume settings again. And prior to the launch of Stasis on July 19th, players should be aware that the Stasis Solstice Armor Glow is incorrectly displaying a purple hue rather than the blue hue when the Stasis subclass is equipped. This is a known issue and will be resolved after the event launch. So if you want to be blue and you're purple, hang tight. You'll be purple.
That this is an issue every year. There was an issue with it last year, glowing a different color than it should have been.
I think Stasis doesn't leak with the Telesto. They're finicky. They do what they want, and that's what that's our little hot fix of things getting fixed. This really feels like one where they're going to give us some greater patch notes. Like this seems like a very small hot fix with, I mean, other than the Caliban's hand fix going through, not a ton out there that's.
Yeah, but it's the Solstice event, isn't it? That's going to be the reason why.
Yeah. So I'm sure we'll see a bunch more of, hey, we also fixed all of these things. Hopefully. Yeah, but then a couple more known issues. Things still broken that they've not fixed yet. Linear fusion rifle scavenger, granting less heavy ammo, and per scavenger brick when equipped with the legendary linear fusion rifles. And the during A Guardian Rises, Shao Han's cutscene dialogue will be cut off by a public event start dialogue. So if you're trying to listen to Shao Han as you do your new light, you won't be able to hear him. And if you're running around in the Transpose JT-24X exotic ship, the left engine flare is misaligned. So if you're having a hard time keeping your navigation on course, that's probably why.
That's why I kept going to Nessus.
That's it. So yeah, those are our new known issues. There's more known issues. There's an entire article if you want to read more about them, or don't. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to do. And now we have movies of the week, which I totally forgot to even look at this week.
I was a bit upset that Majestic didn't get his one for his wife now has a cutscene. I thought that surely that should be in there, but no, it's not.
That's too bad. But what do we have? We have Resist the Legion, the Destiny 2 OST guitar cover. Guess who doesn't love a guitar cover? Mythical has recreated the Office intro in Destiny 2. And then some art of the week of the love affair of grief and rage and forgiveness resolve with Zavala and Keitel. The love affair that we're all waiting for to happen. Come on, Bungie, it's going to happen. Don't lie to us. And then Rolk embroidery. Someone has embroidered Rolk, silk on linen. This was super hard to get pictures for some reason. I need to figure out a better way to get pictures. And who is this? This is Valaragna art. Anytime anybody embroiders anything, it's amazing because just the amount of time that takes in concentration.
That looks like that took a
excellent.
long time.
And this week's a wrap. We have a kitty cat sunning itself to take us out, and that is our This Week at Destiny, This Week at Bungie, This Week at wherever we are right now.
So normally once the event goes live, there will be a page giving you a bit more of a breakdown of the Solstice event and up on the Bungie Help. So, I'd say Bungie Help, but normally they put it on the main screen of Bungie. If they do, hopefully I'll link that in our show notes if they can get it up in time. But
yeah, it's one worth paying attention to the week of, because they usually put something out probably about the same point they publish whatever our actual patch notes are going to be, because again there feels like more. And we'll see what weird issues the Solstice has, because Nitedemon's point, there's always something a little bit wonky with Solstice, because it wouldn't be Solstice if it didn't come out of the box a little bit broken.
Yeah.
And as we don't have our respawn to round up our report yet, which I don't remember how long ago he left, but I guess we'll see if when he comes back. And if not, one of us will do his report. Do you want to tell us all about what I should be watching in YouTube land? What good videos we've had this week?
Yes, I will. So, saying that, I found a really cool place this week, only by pure accident, to go and do like the red frame weapons, to kind of either do your red frame weapons or level up the weapons that you've already crafted. I hadn't done the opening mission on my hunter this week to actually get to the Castellum. And I believe it's called Midas. Now, this is the one that takes you up to the Callus throne room. You go up, look at the robot, and then suddenly you're kind of swamped by all these like cabal that are kind of keep coming out of like thin air, basically. And you have to run down the path back out to kind of complete the mission. What I found is that if you run out the big main door, but stay just outside the main door to the left, as you're running down to the left, you can just constantly kill enemies that spawn out of thin air on the right, and they drop ammo for you. You can shoot in the doorway and kill some more enemies that constantly respawn. And the big chunky boys with the axes don't come out of the main door. Nobody comes back up the path to kill you. There are a few enemies that kind of just spawn out of nowhere further down that shoot at you and maybe lob a couple of their grenades at you. But you could constantly farm, I think it's 2 dogs and like a normal cabal, and that keep spawning out of thin air. And I leveled up a couple of weapons. I got you can also pick up from the Crown of Sorrow and do the bounties, like the Deathless rocket launcher. That I had a Deathless glaive. You can pick up the bounties each day and just go to this point and thing. Unfortunately, you if you come out of the mission, it doesn't take you back to that area. You have to run back all the way to that area to do it again, because sometimes it'll say, right, this is a save point because it's a death zone. So potentially you have the point of you can just kind of keep swapping your weapons in and out and upgrading them as quick as possible. I mean, I was doing the Callus mini tool, which was going pretty quick as well. So I found that rather than kind of fiddling and messing about with the last wish and looking for like trying to get on that wish wall to get to Cali to do your crafting, do your weapon stuff there. This is quite a quick, easy way if you haven't done the mission, because once you've done the mission, it's kind of out of the way. You can't go back to it. But if you've got another character you can do it on, you can always do it like I did this week and still pick up bounties. Yeah, I picked up some bounties at the gunsmith as well while I was like flying in and did that. So I did those. So I found that was quite an interesting way of upgrading your weapons and doing your weapon testing. If you're kind of looking for a place to do it's quite quick and you've got it still available on a character, there you go. That's a place to do it.
Yeah. So if you do that, you then just cannot finish that mission
No,
with that character to unlock the Castellum because there's no way to go back to it.
no. But as I said, you can do the Castellum, or you can do the bounties from the crown. You can do everything else on another character. You don't necessarily have to do it this season. If you've completed everything and you've got your Reaper seal, then who's it hurting, to be honest? I mean, that mission's going to be around for like the next 6 months until it kind of all gets taken out of the game when we get the Lightfall drop, which is when all the seasons kind of disappear for the Witch Queen. So you've got access to this place as long as you kind of keep it around and don't complete it. Now, one that I want to kind of shout out, Trask Uglo, who played with me on the stream this week, pointed me in the direction of Downward Thrust. He did a video, Is Destiny 2 Worth Playing in 2022? I watched the whole thing. It was really interesting. And he hit the nail on the head for the majority of the video. It's quite hard for new players to get into Destiny, but once they've kind of got past, like, I think he did like 75 hours, he got to the point of that he could actually start to understand the game and understand the mechanics, understand like where to go in progression and different things. Crucible, he kind of got a little bit wrong, saying that it isn't skill-based matchmaking. It isn't, if you're not playing in competitive. Competitive is the only skill-based thing. But the rest of it, with just like connection base, it's literally every other game mode, even trials, it comes down to connection these days. So I thought that was quite an interesting watch for any new players getting into the game. It kind of gives you a good overview of like what to look out for, the pitfalls, and is it worth playing? And I think he kind of came to the realization it's a fun game, and this is why we're still here playing the game all these many years on. If you're trying to convince somebody to pick up the game or pick it back up, point them in the direction of Downward Thrust's video. Is Destiny 2 Worth Playing in 2022? It is linked in our show notes, but you can also search it up.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and that's one thing and I know Bungie themselves have said this is a challenge of how do you get people into this game that's been going on, story wise since 2014, and as a Destiny 2 product since 2017. How do you get people into this world? Because the game has never done a good job explaining what it is you're doing, what these things, what a crucible is, what a gambit is, what you do there, how it's different. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's it's nice that people we should collect some of this stuff up. That, these sort of good resources for new light or people coming back into it, or just I've been away from the game for 6 months or a year, and it's all a totally different game than when I left it. How help me get my bearings again.
well, that's the thing. I mean, he said that he played it on and off, and coming back to the game where they'd taken out the Red War, where they'd taken out the Forsaken campaign, it's this really disjointed version of trying to explain. There's no kind of big cutscene to say, right, this is what has happened since you've been away, or this is what happened at the beginning of Destiny 2, and this is the point where we're at now. Because you now get to the point, like I think we said over the last couple of weeks, that we are playing alongside Keitel, who is this big cabal, and in the first couple of missions and things that you're introduced to all these different enemies, you're fighting against cabal, and then suddenly you get to the main point and you're following this storyline. It's like, who's this person, and why are we why are we fighting ghosts of this big callous person? What's going on with who's Gaul? It's like it makes no sense as a new player coming in, which I completely agree with. It's just
Yeah.
they need to have kind of got that bit sorted out. And I mean, he was saying about Shorehand, you go, it says you're wakened by a ghost, like we all were in Destiny 1, and you run through to the Cosmodrome, and then you're met by Shorhan, who kind of just says, right, go off and do this and this and this, and eventually you get to the tower 3 hours later, and there's no real explanation for new players coming in, which I feel some games are like that. They're just like, well, we're going to throw you into it and you just explore and get on with it. But it is hard for new players coming in that want to engage with the game, that can't they need that extra little bit of help to get into the game. But
Yeah, and Destiny sort of, I don't know. I mean, I say sort of weird. Like there is a campaign. There are absolutely campaigns, but it's not like Destiny has never been campaign focused. It's never like people are playing the same campaign 6 months later. Like and again, and I draw the similarity to Halo, another Bungie game, where the campaign was a thing you would go and sit down with friends and do over and over and over and over again. Different variations, turn different skulls on, but it's very much a sort of that was a big part of your game. Where in Destiny, it's more like you have that same playlist experience, but it's with sort of Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit. These sort of three different game modes, again with different variations and stuff. That's sort of the bulk of what you're replaying, and it's great if you know what all those things are. But yeah, if you're coming into this going, well, I don't know what I don't know what these words mean. What's a Gambit? What's a Crucible? What's a Vanguard list? What kind of what is it? How many people is it? What do I need to know? Yeah, it's a weird thing to sort of drop you in the middle of and go, all right, have fun. Like it's sort of an open world survival type feeling of we're going to drop you into this game and you figure it out, without the open world, to go wander around and figure it all out.
I mean, it is totally worth it. And I think nearly all the videos that I watch of people saying, is Destiny 2 worth coming and playing? That 99% of them get to the conclusion of, yes, it's a fantastic game, but there is that barrier of so many hours beforehand before you can start to understand different things. So if you're new to even listening to us, if you found us new to the game, stick with it. It is worth it in the end. You will completely understand the majority of things. I mean, like we said earlier, even as experienced players, there are things like this new event or reprised event that's coming up, the Solstice, that even we don't understand until we're actually in the game mode itself to go, oh yes, okay. And even then, we still need sometimes a YouTuber or Bungie to clarify what it is that we're actually trying to do. So you're not alone. Being a new player, it's the same for experienced players as well. It's just there's a learning curve, but it is worth it kind of to carry on playing. And with that, if you have been playing for some time, Plunder the Booty. This is one specific one I'm shouting out this week, which he only released today, which I thought was quite cool. Is all 3 mementos that you can get from doing Grandmasters. You can flawless on trials and playing Gambit. You get mementos that drop, and I think it's 1 or 2 of. I think it's only one for each memento that can drop. So you can have one of each in your inventory until you kind of slot it into your crafted weapons. But he's got a video going over all 3 mementos on all craftable weapons. So it's just kind of a screen showing you all the different weapons that you can get and all the different mementos of how they kind of look on the weapons. And even down to the point of with like the opulent set where you can get the ore stringer, you can get the callus mini tool with the different ornaments that you've been able to purchase over the last couple of weeks in Eververse, or if you've earned them in the menagerie previously, that you can equip, and what they look like with the mementos as well. So that was quite nice. It's about a 25-minute long video. Not much speaking, but it kind of just shows you what they look like. So if you are looking at your mementos, or if you do get a memento and you're thinking, which one do I really want to put it on when I do get it? And it'll kind of give you a look of, because you can't actually see what it is until you've actually crafted it and put the memento on there. So you're kind of caught in a catch-22 position of, if you put the wrong one on, or the one that you've then got to go and get another memento. And sometimes, like, playing trials flawlessly isn't that easy to do. I mean, Grandmasters, again, for some people, isn't that easy to do. So you want to kind of use your resources as sparingly. This will hopefully kind of help you in that. Next, we have Majestic, again, doing another cutscene for the Ore Stringer, which was quite cool. Only a couple of minutes long, but in that same art style of the ink blots that we've seen through Destiny, they've done one for the Ore Stringer. So maybe this one will be Movie of the Week. He's got to put hashtag Movie of the Week alongside this to get it out there. But I thought we'll just highlight it this week. Looks pretty cool. Sneaky Beaver this week has the perfect Callus Mini Tool roll. So go check that out if you're looking to craft your Callus Mini Tool and you're looking for a role for PvP or PvE. They go over some of the roles that you may look for and ones to avoid. True Vanguard this week went over his top best 5 legendary sidearms, and then a continuous tier list of all the other legendary sidearms that are in the game. And some of his top 5 might surprise you. A couple of them did surprise me, but he's a prolific sidearm user, and he said in his video, like, he's been asked so many times over the last couple of years, he make a sidearm video of what are the ones the best ones, or in his opinion the best ones. So he's actually gone and done it, and I'm looking at maybe seeing if I can get a Keening, which is one of the first ones that he kind of goes over. I checked my vault. I don't have one. This is uncommon for me that I don't have one. Normally I see one, I go, that looks like a good roll, I'll stick it in my vault. I haven't got one, so I'm now going to look for one on his recommendation.
I've certainly deleted a number of those, but
yeah, I remember deleting them. Truds has the Hunter PvP build that broke the community. Now, this is the one that is with the Omnioculus chest piece, which is your exotic chest piece, that has various different things of using smoke grenades and making you and your team invisible. And who did I play with this week? Was it in Cascal? I think it was in Cascal this week that I actually played some trials this week, and he was using it to make us go invisible, which was quite fun.
Yeah, I think I saw some of the Discord chatter. I think it was in Cascal for a bit.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, I did in the Discord, didn't I?
Did you play the other? I can't remember the other name you mentioned earlier.
I know I played at the beginning of the week, on Tuesday after I'd done the podcast. So I think it was in Cascal. Was that in Show General Chat? I think.
Yeah, I can't remember where I remember seeing you said you play with someone in trials. I don't remember where I saw it.
Yeah, I'm going to say in Cascal. If I got it wrong, I didn't. I got it wrong. So yeah, and Cascal.
You know who you were if you played with Nitedemon in trials this week, and he appreciates you.
I do. And so this is with the build of making you go invisible, or making your team go invisible, and sneaking up on people with the exotic shotgun, the Lord of Wolves, which seems to have made its rounds again of just being overused by hunters that are invisible in the Crucible. Even playing Iron Banner this week, have you seen this with like invisible hunters suddenly sneaking up on you with a Lord of Wolves shotgun? This is the rapid fire shotgun. They have to be in your face now. I mean, it was nerfed from being like stupidly long distance to literally have to be up on the person to kill them. But it's a rapid fire shotgun that just blasts you into oblivion. So hunters have been using that with the Omnioculus and being invisible for literally the entire game. And
the number of corners I haven't seen Lord of Wolves again that I directly remember, but certainly the number of times I've run around corners where there was nobody there, only to be shotgunned by a hunter waiting for me. Yeah, that's
so
more than
if you want to know more about that build, Truds goes into detail about the build itself, and if you want to try it out, go and copy the build.
You don't want to know more about it. It's not worth doing. Just don't do it. Shh, it's fine.
And then following on from that, iFrostbolt did top 5 builds this meta to go flawless in PvP. Now,
sure, if you say so, sir.
Go flawless in trials. Sorry.
Can we get a version of that mixed with Fallout's 5 or 6 builds to use if you suck?
Yeah. And the top one that he had was a Titan with Laurely Splendor, which was quite fun. The second, I think, was the Invisible Hunter. So, but that was his top 5 builds. I'm not sure if it's going to make me go flawless, but it might make somebody out there go flawless. So
there's a chance.
Go with it. Yeah, there is a chance. Cool Guy has his Staccato 46 Scout Rifle PvE guide, which is I think it's a really fast firing one. I think it's the 180. Looks really cool. It's got the Suros kind of dragon bird thing down the side, red and white. It's a well drop, so look out for it. He goes over some really cool rolls for you if you are interested in that Scout Rifle. And with the Scout Rifle changes coming up, it's hopefully going to be a good one to take into ARC 3.0. He also has another video going over the Without Remorse shotgun, and that's a PvP guide on what you should be looking out for on crafting. I mean, he touches on PvE on it, and he recommends that you don't get incandescent on it because, in his view, a Drang Baroque, the sidearm, is better with incandescent because you're not using special bricks, whereas with the shotgun, you're trying to get more special bricks. I suppose it's not too bad in PvE, but for what it can do, you can do with a Drang Baroque or a Callus mini tool easier and all the time, basically, because you have unlimited bullets with those. So go and check out his guide. He had some really good points on that shotgun because it is a fantastic feeling shotgun. I really enjoy it, and a couple of other people have said that they've enjoyed using it for the feel. So Cool Guy's got a guide for you on what perks you should be looking out for on that one. Time Sausage Gaming has a PSA on 2 hidden emblems that you may have completely missed. Now, these are ones that require you to have linked your Bungie account to your Destiny account, which the majority of people do, but going to your Bungie rewards and checking out your Bungie rewards. Because if you've got 7,777 solar kills this season, you do have the chance of getting an emblem. And if you've completed, I think it's the week 1 challenges, all 10 of those, there's another emblem. So go and check the Bungie rewards and see if you need to do any more to get those. But go and check out Time Sausage Gaming to see what they look like, because you may not even want them. So just go and check that out. Fallout Plays has a classy restoration mod video. Basically saying, do you really want to see what this does? And I did. I clicked the video and I was unaware that people have been doing this, but obviously higher skill players had been doing it. Is that classy restoration actually works if you are if you slide off of a kind of box or off mantle off of something, if you slide off of something, you can activate your class ability, and it will give you classy restoration without using up your class ability. So he was showing you like sliding off of a box and activating your class ability on a warlock and a titan, a must preference, and getting the classy restoration buff without actually losing said ability. And people have been doing this in PvP, and I think it was more of a Bungie, hey, look what this is doing, hey community, if you feel that classy restoration is playing an important part in people taking you down, just know this is what it's doing and you can do the same. So check that one out. I mentioned the Scarrow video going over Disjunction versus Frontier, and Plunder the Booty's channel, go and check out him for any kind of really cool builds this season. Fantastic time and effort that he has put in. And Cheese Forever this season constantly keeping us up to date with cheeses. This week, there's a Telesto glitch. Who knew there'd be another Telesto glitch or Telesto thing that you can do?
Something becomes Telesto, silly biscuit.
It's a Telesto glitch.
You can shoot,
walls.
yeah, you can shoot through walls and kill bosses without even having to do said activities. And the same, I believe, it's with the Titan sword. I can't remember what it's called. The big one that you can only get for the Titan that does a big slam. Basically, does the same. Basically, it's a Titan sword, which is a Telesto.
Splitter?
So we're going to call it a Celesto.
No, it's the crown splitter.
Yeah, called the Celesto.
No, the crown splitter.
Celesto.
Crown splitter, wall splitter. It all does the same thing.
Crown
Yeah. Yeah, I saw Telesto report tweeted it was time to reset the timer. So.
And then we have some Grandmaster Nightfall guides if you're looking to do those. Cheese Feather has an infinite revives in a GM Nightfall Cheese. Now, this is one I know that Fallout did exactly the same video about 2 days afterwards, but Cheese was the initial one that I saw. I think it was about 9 days.
Cheese anyway, so he still gave Cheese credit.
Fair enough. So this is with going into Nightfalls, and if you die, rather than wait for somebody to revive you, you can go to orbit by, or not actually go to orbit. I think you can turn off your machine. Cheese goes over the details of doing it, but basically turning off your console, turning off your PC, whatever, and then coming back loading into the game, it doesn't use up your revives. And this is something that Bungie had implemented with this new season of not
the disconnection,
saying that you can join back on the fire team without losing progress and things.
Protection.
Oh, interesting.
Using it.
So now people are using it as a cheese in game for getting around being revived.
You know what happens whenever somebody uses something for their own benefit? Bungie has to remove it.
Well, Bungie will tweak it, but not before the end of the season, I don't think. If you're interested in doing all the GMs,
all of them,
Aztecross has a complete list of Grandmaster Nightfalls with builds. Now, this is him and his team playing through the Nightfalls, all 6 of them, and then up on the screen, he goes through each person's build. So you kind of have to pause it to see what they've got equipped for that build, if you want to kind of get your team together and do those. But then we also have each week as they come out that people that haven't got access to the full range of the Grandmasters yet are doing different Grandmaster guides. So Sneaky Beaver was the previous week with Proving Grounds, with Kimber Prime and Mano Destra giving extra tips on that one. This week we have Equagan giving you Insight Terminus GM guide, and Cheese Forever has a boss room cheese spot for you if you're interested in that, if you're struggling. So those are the Grandmaster guides. And then below that in our show notes, we have the Season of the Haunted guides going over bobblehead location, nightmare hunting, you name it, it's in there if you need to know what to do this season. And then we have Thronewell guides if you're just starting with the Witch Queen. Any other kind of hidden things in there, any kind of things you need to know about the raid as well, they're all in there as well. We have a plethora of links there. And then we have Bungie links below that, and anything to do with the game, known issues, code of conducts, like Fireteam Finder, crossplay guides, anything you could kind of think of. And then we have some useful guides below that. Kingsley Mac has a known issues list if you're interested in that. Links to the Lowly Devs website, Destiny Recipes, D2 Gunsmith, Destiny Emblem Collector, blueberries.gg, Destiny podcast list if you're interested in listening to other podcasts. There's a full list of other podcasts. The 100.io that we do with the Guardian Hub, the Guardian Down. If you want to kind of get into groups that are doing raids, dungeons and things like that, you can click that link. That will take you to the 100.io, sign up there, and then you can join our group with all the other podcasts that we do it with and get in on some of these fabulous raids and dungeons and any other activities that you need to do. Find some nice guardians that would help you. So there's those. And it sounds like Respawn is now back.
I'll say, we also have a Respawn report roundup. By the man himself. Who drove through the sinking state of Florida, through the torrential rains to bring you his report.
Florida's not sinking, the oceans are rising. Let's get that straight.
Same
Bungie
effect.
says we're proud to officially join the incredible team at PlayStation. We're excited for the future of our company, and we're inspired to bring together players from all over the world to form lasting friendships and memories. I remember the last time you guys had a partnership with PlayStation, and you kept giving them exclusives. I'm really hoping it's not going back to that again. DMG says, hi. The agreement to acquire Bungie has closed, so now we can officially say welcome to the PlayStation family at Bungie. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. A bunch of people this week were like, didn't that already happen months ago? They announced months ago. I guess, all of the paperwork signed, all of the happy. It's official that Bungie and PlayStation are a thing. Bungie and Sony, I guess, technically.
Okay. Paul Tassi says 4 times more people have solo flawless duality than have crafted Epicurean and fixed odds combined. Lol. He's talking about a Destiny Reddit thread that says basically that. It says the analytics info available off of Charlemagne are kind of crazy. As of this post, only 3,236 people have unlocked the Epicurean for crafting, and 6,549 have done so for fixed odds. How many people have solo flawless duality? Arguably one of the hardest things you can do in the game. 41,404.
More people have done a very hard PvE thing than gotten enough drops of weapons to craft them.
Yes. Bungie, I think that's them telling you your red border drop rates are ridiculously low. You might need to look into that. Okay, we got a Reddit link. That's just a Reddit link. Let's see what it says. That's the link to that thing. Huh.
Yeah, it was just the link in case 19 wanted to throw in the show notes of the actual Reddit post versus just the screenshot of the Reddit post from the tweet.
Mac at MactixG1 says Grandmasters are the new PvE endgame. There's no doubt, but they are really starting to lose their shine. We've been running the same handful of strikes for the past 5 seasons now. We need to unvault the old strikes and continue to add new ones. No more battlegrounds, please. He continues to say there are currently 9 vaulted strikes: Savathun Song, Pyramidion, Hollowed Lair, Broodhold, Will of Thousands, Strange Terrain, Tree of Probabilities, I didn't like that one, a Garden World, and Festering Core. In a world where GMs are as played as they are, it just doesn't make sense. Moving on, Mjango at Mjango Coding says, at Charles' report that explains why it was so painful to collect data this weekend. Interactive versions of the charts can be found here. I'll add them over the next few days. Let's see what they look like.
Those are ones that were sort of going around the community this week of showing the breakdowns of each class and how many exotics they were, like what percentage of the people playing Trials were using different exotics, and just how absolutely dominant they're like the Winters, I think the 2 exotics for the Hunter and the Warlock were. Whereas the Titan, it was sort of everyone uses a little bit of everything. I'd seen a bunch of people talking about these charts, so I just threw a link in there because the live data is also there about, because like the charts were screenshotted at some point, but then there's like live data of up to the date, up to the minute stuff of who's using what where, which is just, it's interesting because we were always asking for data, going, well, who's, you say everyone's using the Stompies, well, show me who's everyone, how many is everyone. Actually,
people are still using Stompies despite the nerf. Look at that, 25.7% of people still using Stompies. So like nerf, what nerf? Anyway, golly, there's so many hunters that play. Woo!
Yeah, about half the Trials community is hunters. So yeah, it's not surprising that you see all the hunters, because that's what they all are.
Based on 13,000 samples. None. 18% of people aren't using any exotics in Trials. That is surprising. That's actually the biggest chunk of the pie, believe it or not.
Yeah, they're just rolling. They're like, I'm just here to hang out.
Right, Gallahorn comes in right behind that at 17. Then No Time to Explain, Lord of Wolves, Ace of Spades, Last Word, Hawkmoon, Lorenz Driver, Thorn, there's Chaperone, Le Monarch with a Horde, and these are getting too small to read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just again, more things if you're curious of what people are running, or if you're going, I want to go, I want to go play trials, or I want to go try something out. What are people using for my class? Well, there you go.
Now, this is a pretty good chart right here. Like, this doesn't seem overwhelming. Like, okay, Austringer is 9% and Beloved is 5.2%. But it's not like Austringer is like 90%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mean, that sort of to me says we have a pretty healthy community of weapons. Of it's not everybody using one thing. Versus, what exotics are you all using? Well, half our community of hunters are using a single exotic. That seems like a Bungie's. Whether it's too strong, too weak, whatever. That seems like Bungie's going to say you're all using the same thing. Quit it. Because if there's one thing Bungie hates, it's everyone using the same thing for too long.
In saying that, hand cannons are the most used weapon, and of those hand cannons, the Austringer is the most used hand cannon.
Oh yeah, so, people love their Austringers.
They do. Okay, all right. Well, there you go. You guys got to take a look at that. There's a link in the show notes if y'all want to dive deeper into it. I am not. Then we have the inspection data sheet. Explore and run machine learning code with Kaggle notebooks using data from Destiny 2 Crucible dataset.
It was just the link to where that data comes from.
Right. We have Rick at Blueberries GG. By the way, the Nightfall weapon dropping from the Insight Terminus Nightfall is the DFA hand cannon. Full rotation plus guides are here, and he's got a link, and this link probably shows the full rotation and the guides. And that's exactly what it shows. There you go.
Because that's always a question of what weapon is dropping, and do I want to play into Nightfall? So
it looks like the rocket launcher of the Hothead will be. I don't know. I don't know how to read this, but there's a link.
Later.
Yeah, how to read it later.
Yeah, go to blueberries.gg. He has a bunch of links and guides.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it not the Warden of Nothing next week?
Well, I was looking because I wanted to see how far ahead, because I wanted to farm like the rocket launcher, right? So if this is what's dropping and the guide for it, right? It shows what's dropping, a list of what's dropping, right? So I went down to the Hothead and I was seeing if it would tell me what week and what Nightfall it would be dropping in, and it does not. Not that I can see.
Well, next week we have the Warden of Nothing, which should be dropping the duty-bound auto rifle.
So that's one worth farming. Whereas
the
Silica Neuroma was not.
We have Barrier, Unstoppable, and the
See,
other
on
one.
this chart, it shows the Hoarders at least as next.
No, that's July 26th.
Where do you see that date at?
Well, seeing as Peroty's already told people Warden of Nothing is next week from This Week at Bungie.
Right, I'm not talking about what Perody said. I'm trying to see how accurate this link we're about to hand out people is.
Okay. Next week in Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and if you scroll up in our show notes, I've got the list of them, and it tells you July 19th is Warden of Nothing with Duty Bound. We have Barrier, Unstoppable, and Overload champions available. The shields will be, I think it's Arc and Void. And there'll be extra damage dealt with, 25% extra damage dealt with Solar, and an extra damage received by Solar is 50.
Moving on. We have a link here that takes us to how much you get, how much experience you get, or how much progress you get towards your red border weapons and your crafted weapons inside of Team Scorched. So just by having your weapons on you in Team Scorched, you get plus 40% advance on red border weapons and a 15% advancement on crafted weapons. There you go. So just get you that mad experience bump.
Yep. And since Mayhem is up next week, you can do the exact same thing with Mayhem. Slap the weapons on you want to work on and don't fire them a single time.
And this apparently is in the US only. Sorry, Nitedemon. Actually, I'm not sorry. Beginning Saturday, people experiencing a mental health crisis will be able to call or text 988. The hotline will provide 24/7 free and confidential emotional support around the country to those in mental health distress. Well, there you go. America, you have instead of a 911, you have a 988 number.
Well, you also have 911. Otherwise, you'd be out of a business.
Telesto report says, reset the clock! New bug, Telesto damaging server mission boss through wall. And then there's that Telesto cheese they mentioned earlier. And last but not least, we have Destiny the game. Xbox Summer Sale includes Destiny expansions. Yay! With discounts up to 50% off. So those of you that have swapped consoles, jumped ship, or you're just generally missing out on some of these expansions. You got the Witch Queen, $30 instead of $50. You got Destiny 2 Forsaken, it's $10 instead of $25. 30th anniversary bundle is $20 instead of $31. Yeah, everything here is for sale. So if you just need some DLC and not some TLC, this is your week. Go handle your business, bruh. Handle your business. And that's it for the Respawn Report Roundup. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
And if it's on sale on Xbox, it's probably going to be on sale on Steam and PlayStation too. So stare at your stores, go buy the things you don't own, and then you can play all the things.
So many things.
So unless there's anything else secret, I think this is where we tell the people, thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Nitedemon. Your Hunters, no one respawns in real life. Your Lore Scribe has abandoned us and has brought us nothing. So he is not here. He is not ARF. You should email the show at 2titansandahunter@hotmail.com or on Twitter at 2titans_hunter. That's 2titansandahunter, all spelled out for email. Number 2titans_hunter on Twitterland. Or really just type in 2titansandahunter everywhere. Look for the lovely neon dragons. That's us. You'll find us. We're here. We're there. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch periodically. Go follow us on Twitch and you'll see when Nitedemon streams there. Because there's going to be some random time if you're in the US and less random times if you're not in the US. Listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Audible, everywhere fine podcasts are sold. If you want to see a video version of the show, you too can watch it on YouTube because it's there and it's fun. And we appreciate you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out. And until next week, gents, tell the good people goodbye.
Yeah, thank you for all the feedback. And if you can't catch us on Twitch, we will also broadcast on YouTube as well at the same time.
Excellent.
Is it deuces? Did you say deuces?
Oh, no, you cut me off.
People don't get deuces. No deuces for them.
Deuces.
No, it's not.
No deuces.
Not a single deuce.
And if you feel like watching the raw, uncut, real version, when you come hang out with me at No One Respawns in real life, all spelled out, you can see what the show is like behind the scenes before the sound effects and the squawks and the squeaks and the
not child friendly though. It's not a child friendly show.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to hear the
is
naughty
the
words,
edited version.
yeah,
Right.
If you want to hear the naughty words, go to twitch.tv/no-one-response in real life. If you want to hear the less naughty words, twitch.tv/2titansandahunter.
Okay.
If you want to hear the Floridian man, no one responds in real life. If you want to hear the British man, 2titansandahunter. If you want to hear me, listen to the show because I don't do anything else, and
Not yet.
that's what you get.
2 Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
But yeah, I had great fun for the last couple of days streaming, so that was good fun. So I'd like to thank Trask Olgo, who was
No. What was his name?
Trask Olgo.
Trash what?
I would like to think all the trash that I
Okay.
played against. I mean, no.
Or with? Or
Yeah.
am?
Trask
Yeah.
Olgo. He listens to the show.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Great balls of fire.